live, so I'm just gonna, there we go. We're live. Okay, guys, welcome to episode 5 of Stardust and Sweatpants, where today we are going to be doing 2026 predictions. You're gonna get the psychic aspect, the tarot aspect, and the astrology powerhouse coming in to do a full breakdown of what 2026 has in store for all of us. Is there anything you guys want to add to that?
No. Prepare.
Yeah, right. Buckle up because it's going to get crazy. And we're going to do predictions for each other today. So if you guys want to see a little bit into what's going to be going on for us, and we can do like updates throughout the year for you guys. Like, remember when we did the predictions live and they said this and then it's happening. So I think that'll be super cool. Not only for us to like see what is going to happen in this upcoming year, but kind of to show you guys too more about us individually and like what we offer individually. I have our websites linked in the ticker here. So you've got jordanhawk.com, ascendingastrology.com, and then Sevons Guidance on TikTok and Facebook. So if you guys enjoy the predictions that we're giving today and you guys want to book with us, you can do that on our websites. You want to give a little shout out of what your predictions reading is like, Stephanie?
So for right now, I have, for personal predictions, I have 2 2026 deals going on until I think I put it to January 15th, where you can get an oracle card only. And that's a lot for people that don't have their proper birth times or just aren't that interested. And it's a big spread that covers every month this year. And then for the astrology, it is a video that will be sent to you of a breakdown of month to month, how the changing in the astrology is going to activate and those reactions in your birth chart for you personally, all 12 months, 2026. And then there's some bonuses in there too, like your tarot card of the year and your themes of the year and your elements of the year.
So does that cover like if people have like career changes coming up or like love life stuff or like health?
It'll be
stuff?
Everything.
Awesome. So it's a full breakdown month to month. So you know exactly what is your challenges are going to be, your highlights going to be, weaknesses are going to be, all of it. It's all covered in those.
All of it's covered in it.
Awesome. And you said those are on sale right now. When does the sale end?
January 15th. They're $100 for the astrology, $50 for the oracle.
So y'all got, you said 15?
Yes.
Today's the 4th?
Yes.
So we got 11 days, you guys. Get over to Ascending Astrology, right? Or
Ascending Shadows.
I need to fix that. AscendingShadows.com. Let me go fix that really quick.
And it's on, if you go to the appointments, they're all the way down at the bottom for both to be able to book.
I'm going to fix this really quick. Ascending
Shadows.
AscendingShadows.com. Got it. All right, let me put this back up now. And for mine, you guys, if you want to book a prediction for 2026 and you want to do like a month-to-month breakdown, it's just the hourly session. And then when it pops up and it says, how did you hear about Jordan? Make sure you type in there, 1, how you heard about me, because I'm going to be launching something soon where it's like a referral program and you'll get a coupon code for each person that you refer to my website. But also put in there that you're interested in 2026 predictions. I don't have enough time in the 30-minute reading to fit all that in. So you'd have to book the hour session for me to be able to go month to month and be able to do those predictions for you guys. What about you, Sevon? How can they get a hold of you for predictions for 2026?
So you can either get a hold of me on Facebook under Sevons Guidance, or you can hit me up on my TikTok under Sevons Guidance.
Perfect. All right, you ready? You ready to rumble?
I'm ready.
So I got my trusty notebook. If anyone's ever watched me before, you know I write everything down. So I've got my predictions for this year. And this is what I'm excited about. I'm excited to see how and if any of this connects to the astrology for this year. I can't wait, dude. It's like all I've been thinking about this episode coming up. So I'm going to jump in head first with this. I feel like 2026 as a whole, when we look at the world, is a heart year, connected to the heart. So if anyone is having any sort of like issues with the heart, that is going to be highlighted this year. Connecting to like the heart chakra, working from the heart, trusting that heart space, the passions, the drive, what it is that you want for your future. I feel like the whole theme truly of 2026 is going to be the heart. It's going to be the heart space. Now, that can be positive. It can also be negative. The negative aspect with that would be like the need to release, to let ideas go, to let people go, to break up with past versions of ourselves. And I said that because I really feel like January, February, and March, the highlight of those months is going to be emotional. It is going to be kind of like disassociating. It's going to be the past being in the present. A lot of, even going back to 2020, like when I was sleeping on this last night, I kept getting a highlight for like 2020, 2021, 2022, because there are things that we either wanted to start those years that we didn't get to be able to bring into fruition because of like COVID and everything, or whatever was going on with us, and the health highlights of those years. And those things have been on the back burner. And I feel like there's going to be radical changes with what the decisions were that we were making then for January, February, and March, and bringing some of those things back into play. But I also get a warning about starting anything right now because of the need to like disassociate, step away from the emotion, and try to like plan things. Like I feel like a lot of people are disconnected from their true self. They're disconnected from their emotions right now, which makes sense because we're in the dead of winter. Now is a time to be releasing things, to have all those memories come back, to have that emotional tie and connection to the past 5 years. It's also important to note that this is a 10-year or a 1, depending on how you look at it in numerology, where it's meant to like, you're meant to finalize and you're also meant to create. Both of those things are going to happen this year. But specifically with January, February, and March, there could be like flighty energy, kind of like running away from things, not fully being ready to dive into the new, although it feels like it's eating away at us. Like all these ideas, all these plans, all these things that we want to start and accomplish for 2026, the energy just isn't there yet. We're feeling it because it's that, what is it, fire horse year?
Yes.
So we're feeling that passion. We're feeling that fire. We have that like ignition. We want to do things, but if we look at the world as a whole and we look at the world being in the dead of winter, it's not time to create just yet as much as it is time to plan things and to keep things lighter and fun. So there's like a ton of travel. There's changes in people's like schedules, their careers. I do see a lot of that for January, February, and March. But again, the highlight is going to be the past 5 years, releasing that, and creating a space that feels sacred to be able to move forward beyond what has been restricting us for the past 5 years. Does that play into astrology, the astrological part of it at all?
Especially the disassociation. So right now, everything is in Capricorn. We have Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, all in Capricorn. Everybody's feeling the weight of decisions. Mm-hmm. Everyone is feeling the weight of productivity, and Mars is kind of igniting it. So you're like, I need to get things done. It's very motivational transit when Mars is in Capricorn. However, although this month may start out with a lot of like responsibility and getting, things together and being motivated toward those things, we have a major shift in that energy all throughout January. First, we have, this full moon in Cancer probably rocked everyone this weekend, and probably still now, where everybody's a little bit emotional and feeling held back by their emotions. And then Venus enters Aquarius, and then the Sun, and then Mercury, and then Mars. So it's a trickle-down effect as we leave Capricorn for Aquarius. And that's where the disassociation really happens. Is each one of these planets, as they ingress into Aquarius, are also going to conjunct Pluto. So we have this feeling of our mental world exploding, where our emotional world is being ignored because it's way too much. But then as each one of these conjuncts with Pluto, there's going to be some aggressive endings, especially to mental ties, and especially for the United States as a whole.
Yeah.
The birth chart for the United States has Pluto in Aquarius. So we're not only going to be celebrating our 250th anniversary for the United States this year, but it's a Pluto return. And then also a Uranus return in Gemini, which will happen later in the year. So everything is kind of the history repeating itself. We're going to change. This is personal and for the US. Venus conjunct Pluto. Some relationships are going to die to make way for new ones. Mercury conjunct Pluto. We can no longer talk to ourselves. And as the United States, communication, breaking down, getting fixed, breaking down, getting fixed. New technologies in play, all of those things that are Mercury and Aquarius themed. And then some things we're just not going to be able to do anymore. Sun conjunct Pluto. This is an ego destroyer. So be prepared to be humbled, especially depending on where Aquarius is in your chart. If it's in the upper half, 7th house to 12th house, prepare to be humbled. And then the big one is Mars. Mars conjunct Pluto in Aquarius is, I don't know a nice way to say it. If you've ever lied to yourself about people, if you've ever lied to yourself about yourself, if you've ever lied to yourself about your position, your situation, and especially depending on the house, your relationships, your career, your finances, all of those things are going to be ignited. We're still in a snake year. The fire horse doesn't start until February 17th for the Lunar New Year. Well, this is going to be the last aggressive shed from the snake year.
I feel that so much. Like, I know it's supposed to be the new year, but I feel tied to like 2020, 2021, 2022. And for me, those were health years. That's when I was hospitalized and I got my diagnosis and found out I had a disability and like my whole life changed. So it's like, I still feel connected to that, but I don't feel like it's just everything that I have now. It's not my whole being. Whereas it did take up a lot of my life. I completely had to change my life because of it. But I feel a sense of freedom coming this year that makes me want to cry. Like, I feel like, and I don't feel like it's just a me thing. I feel like so many things, that's why it feels like a heart year. So many things that have been holding so many people back is exactly what you're saying. It's going to be this huge breakup. Breaking up with your mental connection to who you've been and the physical connections with the friendships or family members, all the shit that is holding us back. We're going to have to face it. There's no not facing it anymore. And it is going to create radical change for so many of us. And I do feel that at the beginning of the year. We're breaking up with these versions of ourselves.
Yes. 9 years and 9 in conjunction with the snake is about loss. Most everybody took heavy losses this year. A 10 or a 1 year, now we're in the completion and rebuilding phase.
Yeah.
So after February, and for you particularly, so the Lunar New Year is during the new moon in Aquarius. This is where the weight of the Aquarius energy starts to feel a little bit better because now we have like these new, okay, so I got wrecked the whole month of January, one after the other. But now I have some new theories on how I feel mentally, how I'm thinking about things. That helps. And then 2 days prior to that, February 15th, is when Saturn makes that big move into Aries. And Jordan, for you personally, that takes the pressure off of your physical health and your illness and injury house. So that pressure that you've been feeling for almost 3 years moves somewhere else, and the pressure comes off of the physical body and illnesses, February 15th. So it's like that whole move with Saturn and then the fire horse coming in, it's like the pressure comes off and the new comes in naturally. It's all lining up.
That's what it feels like. Like, I've never gone into a year and had expectations for myself for that year other than to just be okay. Like, I don't feel like I have to just be okay anymore. Like, I'm so ready to thrive. I'm ready to be a version of me I've been wanting to be for so long, but been so scared to because of my health. I don't even have that fear holding me back right now.
It's debilitating when Saturn is involved because every little bit that you gain toward the positive is slowed down by Saturn. Saturn slows things down, and it's to accept things, to work through things, and to adjust what needs to be adjusted.
Yeah.
And then February 1st, we start off with a full moon in Leo. So that's kind of where everybody starts to feel like that vitality coming back in. So February is a trickle down too, where we're building back up. And then we have Mercury enters Pisces. So that's where Mercury takes an L. But it's a good internal dialogue when Mercury is in Pisces. The thing that's going to get everybody, and that thing that you were saying, this is where that ties into where you feel like people are going to have to go after their purpose.
Yeah.
That they can't just get by anymore. That's the lunar nodes. The North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo. We're letting go of some of those structures that we've held on to detriment. And now we have to worry about what makes us feel good.
Yeah.
But the lunar nodes start to shift this spring too, taking us into Aquarius and Leo. So now we have to change our mindset and we have to let go of some of that ego.
Yeah.
Because a lot of stability is like maintaining our ego. We keep that crappy job because we need to be able to afford the things that make us look like we can afford things. And a lot of it is going to be more community based, getting back into things, having healthy ways of thinking, not self-destructing, which is going to be a big thing. And then I think you said something about escapism.
Oh, yeah. Hardcore.
All of our Mercury retrogrades this year are in water signs. You are going to be tapping into different parts of your emotional body, internal dialogue, every Mercury retrograde we have. And the first one starts in, let's see, in Pisces with Mercury retrograde February 26th in Pisces. This is going to be a subconscious dump.
That makes sense why I felt the whole connection to people being like very flighty. It's like people are scared to show who they truly are, and they're scared to be seen for who they truly are, because it's like you said, you've been working that job for however many years. You've been living in that house for however many years. You're so secure in being insecure. And by you, I mean me as well. Like, I'm not counting myself out for any of this. We as a whole are we've just normalized it. And this whole year is going to take that and just dump it over. That's really what I feel like is going to happen.
Yes. When Saturn moves into Aries, it is you. Like I said on the astrology episode, which I know some people have missed, Saturn doesn't create chaos. It just holds you accountable for every decision you've made and every action you've taken.
Yeah.
The themes are heavy on the self this year. I will say Saturn conjuncts Neptune in February as well. The sun is in Pisces, and we're going to have a Mercury retrograde in Pisces. This is just a prediction for February. If you have loved ones that struggle with addiction, check on them, make sure they have their sponsors, make sure that they're going to their meetings. The chances for relapses will be heavy in February, and particularly toward the end of February.
Yeah, that makes sense with what I was getting about so much of the physical health as well. It's not just, it's both. It's the mental health aspect of it all and the physical health aspect of it all, in that power struggle we're all going to be in with, are we truly ready to let go of all the shit we've been through since 2020? We're setting it, and the fact that you said that we're still in part of the snake year validated how much I was feeling that too, with the fact that, we're in this powerhouse of a fire year. It's a fire horse, but we have to still let go to be able to utilize this fire energy.
Yeah, it's one of those things, and especially with all of these water Mercury retrogrades, you don't want to douse your flame. You don't want to douse your flame. If you're going to ride this fire horse through 2026, you cannot dim your light. But what is holding you back from shining to begin with?
Yeah. Everything that makes you feel gross needs you to pay attention to it right now. If there's a person in your life who feels like, God, if I do that, they're just going to set off with this whole cataclysmic event, they need to go. Why are you letting them have so much sway over your life, your passion, your purpose? Why are they the devil in your doorway? You need to be able to answer that, and you need to be able to either set a healthy boundary that allows the maintainment of that relationship, or we have to be able to go, it's time for me to say goodbye. And you have to be sad about it. And you have to cry about it. It has to feel like loss. You have to feel your emotions, and you have to feel them heavily this year.
And that heart space year you were talking about, all these Mercury retrogrades in the water signs, connecting with the emotions, take a play in every single one of these as well. It's an aggressive emotional battle, and it starts out in Pisces, which is probably the hardest one because it's straight to the subconscious.
Yeah.
And all of those things that the internal dialogue comes to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
All those things that you can't touch, you can't smell, you can't see, it all comes to the surface when Mercury is retrograde in Pisces, with all of the Pisces acts, like energy going on, and the emotions and the bad coping mechanisms.
Yeah, that's going to be a main theme for the beginning of the year too. The bad coping mechanisms. Where it's
those need to go first.
We're going to be breaking up with that, but we have to do it again. You have to fuck around and find out. That's what January, February, March really feels like to me. A repeat of the past, kind of ruining things, but for a purpose. Like, oh man, I did that again, and I fucking hate that I did that, and I really don't want to do that again. And then we move into springtime, where we don't even have the ability to do those things anymore because it's all fire, passion, endings, renewals, collaborations. I get so much collaboration when it comes to the spring. So the fact that you were just saying that too, that sense of community and people and all the new is going to keep a lot of us from reverting back to those old patterns. And it's going to create this new space where we're going to thrive in, and we're not going to feel so pulled to overlook our own wants or our own needs to satisfy other people anymore. There's too much passion connected to spring for everyone this year to allow those repetitions over and over again.
You just have to think about, if you're going to use visualizations and you're going to use the 1 year, you're going to use the fire horse. What do you want your horse dragging?
Yeah.
Do you want your horse unencumbered, running through a field, or do you want it dragging the bodies of the past with you? And that's the big one. If you're going to start over, if you could choose to erase everything and start over, who's not coming with you?
Mm-hmm.
What's not coming with you? Where are you going? Are you staying in the same place? It's a huge thing, and it depends on what element you are. If you're a fire sign, congratulations. You're going to burn a lot of bridges, but you need to understand that karma. Okay. When you burn those bridges, I hate to say it because we love to be mean. We really love to be mean. But like, don't be mean. Just drop the mic and walk off into the sunset.
Mm-hmm.
Don't burn the bridge, but don't take any bad karma with you. Air signs, it's going to be about your mental processes and your internal dialogue. Earth signs, you can't control yourself, so you control your environment. So get a new environment.
Yeah.
And then water signs. I am so sorry, water signs. This is going to be a lot of accountability for not only how you allow things to affect you, how you react to things, and how you allow yourself to consistently be harmed. Self-harm isn't just physical. It's allowing people to hurt you too. So you have to think about, like, we doing things to ourselves physically? And that can be they can be drinking, drugs, all of these big things. Mm-hmm. Or are we hurting ourselves and allowing people to treat us like trash and then take them back and nurture them over and over and over and over again?
Yeah.
Self-harm comes in many different forms.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be a big water theme this year. And I'm a water rising. So it's your big three too. You can be a fire sign and have a ton of water energy.
Yeah.
You have to look at where your water sign, what houses they rule. All of these things can make differences. If you're a water 7th house, it could be all your relationship. If you're a water 10th house, it could be your work relationships, how your career is your job literally beating you down? Is it work abuse over and over and over again in a cycle that you just cannot keep dealing with?
Yeah.
So you have to look at where all of your water is.
People, they seriously need to be aware of that too, because for the people that are around them, so many of us are empaths. So the water signs that have other people around them who refuse to connect, refuse to process, refuse to positively be influenced by that, so many of the water signs are going to be picking that up and absorbing it, and it's going to make them feel like almost chaos demons, if I'm being completely honest. Like, I've never been this rude. I've never spoken back like this. I've never stood up for myself this way. This feels so wrong and it feels so gross, and I don't know who I am. But there's a call to action with that too, with people who have not even a lot of water. I just feel like it's going to affect everybody. But I kind of feel like they'll be the carriers in a way for advocating a lot of the change that's going to happen this year, because of a lot of the highlight is going to be on emotions and processing emotion, channeling emotion, and handling people who do not have a positive coping mechanism for their big emotions.
Everyone has water in their chart. Even if you don't have much water, there's a water sign that rules a very specific house in a very specific area of your life. The benefit here is all the bad stuff that comes over, the big blow up with Saturn and Aries. Aries is of the self and Saturn is discipline and responsibility. This year we're choosing discipline over motivation. But also taking responsibility for the self. If your water sign placements can't give you a voice, let Saturn do it. But you have to command authority when you speak when Saturn is in Aries. You have to speak, and we're not allowing people to have comments on what our personal truth is.
Yeah.
It's that drop the mic moment. It's speaking your piece and walking away.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be hard for a lot of us, because so many of us have minimized for so long that the blow up is there. It's like almost on the tip of all of our tongues, where we're ready to just cuss that person out or get rid of that person or end it in a negative way. But we owe it to ourselves to say what the little kid in us wants us to say something. They want to be heard. They want the adult version of us to say, that hurt my feelings and I don't want to be in this situation anymore because I don't feel loved. I feel scared. I don't feel respected. So it's going to be a major challenge for us to do what you're saying. Speak our piece and walk away.
Just know that every time that you don't do that, your horse is dragging a piece from the past.
Yeah, fact.
And you have to look at anything that's worth doing in the moment feels terrible. But on the back half, you now know why.
Yep.
You have to almost envision your future self as already knowing that it was an absolute necessary, hard thing that you had to do. And that's going to be difficult, but necessary.
Yeah. We have to be able to say no, but not to ourselves, because we've been saying no to ourselves and yes to everyone else for so long that it is normal for us now.
And the more you get done in January and February, the easier eclipse season is for you in March.
Me personally, or people in general?
Everyone.
Okay.
It's going to be enlightening. March is enlightening.
I feel that.
I give that an awakening vibe.
Yeah, I wrote awakening and collaboration and stuff down for April, May, and June, but I definitely feel like it starts in March for sure. There's less of the flighty, running away, disassociating, disconnection from the truth, processing, and like detoxing, and more of that like, okay, I think I'm ready now. I'm done throwing it all up. I'm ready to eat a new meal.
Yeah, nothing comes without a recovery period.
Yeah.
And March is the blow up that brings the recovery period, because we have our lunar eclipse in Virgo with full moon in Virgo. So we're coming off them foundations. Our foundations are going to be shaky. And if you're going to fall, like Venus enters Aries that day, or on March 6th, and it cools the transition of that Saturn energy, where it's like, now you're feeling like you're doing good speaking up for yourself, which helps. And then the sun enters Aries, and oh my God, my Virgo risings. Oh man. Your 8th house is going to be rocked. If you think you have power and control over things, you do not. Just let it go. You do not. Virgo risings get the SmackDown
Mhm.
this year. Cardinal risings. So Aries, Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, all of those, the cardinal risings.
That's interesting that you just said that, because I was talking to Sevon last night about that, and I said I feel like there's 2 or 3 cardinal signs that are going to get major, not like exploitation, but like kind of this year.
So
in itself, but then also the way that we are perceived by others, I feel like it's a complete change.
So when you have a cardinal rising, all of the action that happens with Saturn and Aries is going to happen in a cardinal, in a very important area in your life. They're the angular houses. First house, these are the base of like your personality building after your big 3, your sun, moon, and rising.
Mm-hmm.
It's your character and your physical body, where you came from, who you're with, what you do. So these are major areas of your life, and Saturn is going to aspect those major areas of your life. If you're a Libra rising, it's going to be relationships. If you're a Cancer rising, it's going to be your reputation, and in some ways your career and how you're seen, and maybe even some legal issues. So you have to look at what those houses mean to you, where that Saturn and Aries is going to be, and what is it going to mean for your cardinal angular houses. Virgo rising specifically, even though it's a mutable sign, is going to get the smackdown, because all of this that happens in Aries after Saturn moves into Aries is in the 8th house. The only other sign that I think that would, rising sign that I think that would have this worse, the 8th house Saturn transit is a wrecker. It is a life wrecker. 12th house transits. So Taurus risings, having Saturn go through a 12th house. If you aren't already on a mental health journey, prepare to get on one. So those are going to be the big astrological themes for now. I will say, when it comes to bad coping mechanisms and escapism, and potentially like everybody falling off that bandwagon when it comes to drinking and all of these other things, Jupiter does station direct March 11th. Fantastic. Now we have Jupiter working for us in our emotions instead of a continued internal dialogue.
Yeah.
So it's a balancing out. With that same month, our Saturn Aries placements get an assist from Venus, and then Jupiter stations direct. So not everything will be all bad, but the themes will be you.
Yeah.
What have you done to you?
Yeah. January, February are going to be tough. You're still detoxing. You're still letting go. You're still being, I don't know, like manipulated in a way by the things that you've allowed or we've allowed in our lives that just don't feel like they resonate with us anymore. And there's going to be a highlight on that, but March is better. Springtime is phenomenal. I can't wait for that. Sevon, do you have anything to add for the beginning of the year?
Oh, yeah, I have a whole ton.
Oh, yeah. She's like, I've been pulling cards this whole time.
Yeah, no, I've been just looking at them, so I keep getting stuff, so it's been cool. I don't think I have anything to add. Like, literally everything's in alignment. I'm using my like my moon cycles deck, basically, along with my tarot. And I got the new moon in Aquarius. So when you were talking about that, like as an underlying theme, that was very interesting, which talks about like bringing love into the situation for yourself and leaving things in the past. Also, when it comes to celebrating yourself and bringing ritual and devotion with yourself, and I'll get to something that'll be part of the guidance because I got a whole message about that. And there's a whole thing about choices, decisions, being at a crossroads with who you are. And for the main aspect of the reading, the focus point, we're talking about adjustments being required. It's in the 3rd quarter moon. So this is about, you've done a lot, you've walked a lot, done a lot of work towards certain aspects of yourself, especially when it comes to connections with rebirth, metamorphosis, new beginnings. That was the other card that I got. And there's a lot of feeling overwhelmed, a lot of feelings that you're going to be faced with and being immersed in that. The rebirth aspect is going to be a lot of inner work and challenges and knowing when to rest and when facing that. Because it feels like it's a complete recalibration of who you are and who you want to be and what you want to bring into your life. And a lot of things, the first tarot card out was the 8 of Cups. So we're talking about the things that we have already walked away from. Moving towards the 9 of Cups, that's taking the next step. So when I look at tarot and I see like an 8 and a 9, especially when this isn't a new deck, this isn't something where cards would be close together like that. That's moving steps. And then I've got the Page of Swords here looking in that direction. So she's planning, learning, observing. This is a new stage. Connecting those cards, I got Justice. And in this particular deck, because it's the Cosmic Seed, there's a Cosmic Seed card here. And so we're coming, it's bringing truth and balance from what we're walking away from towards our dreams, towards what we're realizing that we want. And that Cosmic Seed in this particular deck is about, you're the beginning, you're the end of the whole in connection with the universe. And this is prioritizing yourself. And connecting those cards, I got the World, which is closing off that cycle, a whole new way of being. And that's what I'm getting. There's a lot of silver lining to the things that we walked away. It's seeing that and changing our perspectives on what felt bad is you're realizing it's really not for you. And the whole weird message that I got for the guidance, not weird, but the ritual thing. So if you think about it, like you kept talking about too, how we put other people first. And there's times where even myself, I'm guilty of this. I may not be feeling the greatest, and I may not shower and do all my makeup unless I'm going out and presenting myself to other people. And it feels like work. If we can change certain things and create a ritual for ourselves in our morning where we do certain things that just feel good to us because we want to celebrate ourselves, it'll set the tone too, not just for the year, but for every day. Because if you think about, this whole year, I got to do this and all this stuff is coming. If you just take it day by day and try to do things for yourself every single day that make you feel good, where it doesn't feel like work. It feels like just celebrating yourself. And even if it's making yourself a cup of coffee in the morning, you only have time for 5 minutes to sit there and just reflect, do that, a few minutes just to breathe. That just feels like it would be so helpful. Just getting more in tune with yourself and what you're wanting. But basically I'm getting the same thing you guys are getting.
That's so cool. I love that all this stuff is just coming together. We didn't even try before we went live, y'all. We weren't like, let's make sure it works.
And talked about roosters and our cats.
Right?
We took all our prep time to get our stuff synced and talked about music and karaoke and
yeah. We just vibed it out before we went live. So this is so cool. Real time, you guys seeing how interconnected this all is.
So what Sevon was saying, I saw something very interesting from someone on Facebook. She posted for the New Year's thing. She said, wear all of your nice clothes. You are the occasion.
Yeah.
And I was I commented, I'm I am adding this to my list because I can't tell you how many outfits I buy for the season. And then winter's over and spring is here. And I never wore that cute outfit because there was an occasion for it. I am wearing all of my cute clothes. Even if I'm just going grocery shopping or whatever, I can wash it and hang it back up. It will always be there for an occasion. But that wear your nice clothes, you are the occasion. I was yes, I am doing that.
I literally wrote it down.
It reminds me what, Sevon was just saying. You are the occasion.
Mm-hmm.
You don't always have to, get dressed up for everyone else. Sometimes it's nice to just do it for you when you can.
Yeah. What were you saying about the eclipses? Because when I sometimes will pull a couple of cards from the flip decks just to see what's underneath and how they align with each other. And I got a full moon and eclipse where it's talking about conclusions in reach, but there are things in the way, and it's about releasing judgment and control and self-doubt, because I got the 8 of Swords right along with those cards. And with your own success, that's how you become successful and abundant.
When you have, so our lunar nodes are still in Pisces and Virgo, and they're switching, but not quite yet. This is, I think, going to be the last part of that shed, where even once we've entered into the fire horse year, it's still no. It's a stripping. The universe is no. When you have the lunar eclipse in Virgo, which coincides, lunar and solar eclipses happen during full and new moons.
Okay.
So the lunar eclipse in Virgo is also the same day as a full moon in Virgo. There is no other zodiac sign than Virgo that needs to redefine success. They put success on a pedestal that they can't reach. And success is so much easier. They put joy the furthest away they can and success way high up, and they go for success. And the more they go for success, they move away from joy. This is going to happen for everyone. Virgo is somewhere in your chart. It doesn't matter if that house is empty or not. How you deem success in certain areas of your life need to be redefined. And that is where our eclipses are going to end in Virgo this year.
See, that's so crazy because the next set's talking about things, what you need to release, the waning moon, and then surrender, trusting your higher self when it comes to strength and like lasting fortune, and then the Tower card. So it's something that's going to come in and just shake everything up that makes you realize what has to go. So that makes a lot of sense too.
Because that's what we get with the lunar nodes, with that Pisces, the North Node, and the South Node. South Node is cutting, right? So those are the things that we need to cut out. And the North Node is where we need to be heading. And that's that going toward that joy, going toward those things that may not be, you can't hold the money you make from the successes in the Pisces North Node. You can just hold the good space that you have in yourself. That is the success that you get from the North Node in Pisces. It's not something tangible. It's just the feeling that you have of doing for you. Well, we're cutting out all of that, those things, those tangible things that we go after, which are toxic to our souls and to ourselves and our community too. That envy, that coveting the things that your neighbors have, that tangible stuff that's just not, you don't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need it. We don't need to be chasing iPhone 17s. We need to be chasing, putting our phones down and going for a walk.
What's crazy too is like pulling the next ones. And then I just got this whole vision of like, and I've made this analogy in reference to like tarot readings and stuff like that. But I get like, this is a recalibration of what car do you want to be driving on this journey that you want to go down, and who's going to be in the car with you. You have to have the car. You are the car. You have to have it's got to be able to get you to where you want to go. So you got to be able to fix that beater car if that's what you're driving up, or you know, polish it up, whatever, to get you to where you want to go. And that's what it feels like so much to me.
Yeah.
Which funny. So when you look at like the numbers, the numerology, if we go with a 1 year, which is how we get the fire horse, because 1 is Aries, Aries is fire. It's a horse year. If we look at the 1 card, we have the Magician. So that's kind of like the overall theme for 2026. But you can find your personal tarot card by adding up your numerology.
Yeah.
So if you add up your birthday, your birth month, and the year 2026, and then add it till it becomes a single digit, you get your tarot card of the year. So like mine's 8. So mine's strength.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Jordan doing math.
Don't mind if I do.
I would say that obviously the major arcana goes beyond 9. So you could keep your double digits. I call that one the co-pilot.
So 10 is the wheel. That's the wheel of fortune for this year.
Yes.
What's 9?
And
9 is it I want to say,
I got to go to my numbers. I can't remember all the numbers.
I luckily have the book that has all this information in there and a lot of stuff. So I want to say it's the Hermit, but it is a Hermit. Okay.
So that's my theme for this year.
So in this book, and it's not super long, but so I won't bore you, but it's about withdrawal, solitude, turning away from or abandonment of conventions through inner conviction, a search for something, research, preoccupation with details, examining something concealed or hidden, patience, a vision quest, a journey, timing, time management, prudence, a need to plan and take things slowly, feeling your way carefully, mastery of what you've been working on, a teacher or guide to help you with your inner search, help and advice from a teacher, guru, counselor, friend, instruction from an expert in your field or acting as such a guide for others, which you are, prudence, caution, discretion, a time to observe but keep silence, refraining from comment, making plans secretly, introspection, completion of a cycle, maturity, interest in illness and health, hypochondriac or healer. And then there's a whole bunch of like reverse stuff and then questions. So questions to ask yourself for this year are, What are you doing with the time you have with yourself? What are you looking for, or what do you need to know? Who can help you find out? What concerns about time do you have? What do you need to keep silent about? What would be the prudent thing to do? What do you need to complete?
So the way I'm doing mine is mine adds up to 17. So I'm taking the star as my co-pilot and then the 8 strength. So strength is driving the car and the star is my co-pilot. That's how I'm looking at it this year. And the card that I drew for me personally, which I'm actually pretty excited about, it's the card of the year that I drew on January 1st.
10 of Pentacles?
No, 10 of Cups.
Hey, that's equally as good though.
So I was like, whoo, I was hoping for 10 of Pentacles, but I got the 10 of Cups and I'm like, I'll take it.
It's really close to the same thing.
Yeah, I'll take it. Apparently we like 10s this year. And it's funny that I keep pulling 10s in a 10 year and all those things. But yeah, so that's how I'm doing my like overall view. And those are the cards that I'm concentrating on. I've got like a little altar set up. They're sitting there and I'm like, okay. So I've got the Magician out and then I've got Strength out. And then I've got the star out and like these are, and then I've got my 10 of Cups out and it wasn't reversed. Thank God. So I'm like, this is my journey. I'm being intentional about my journey because if I'm going to work with Saturn instead of against it, which I don't want to work against Saturn, I have to be intentional in the moves that I make. So these are the things that I'm going to be concentrating on all of the time. So if anybody else wants to get out pen and paper and do the math, zero it down to a single digit, that's who's driving the car. And then what it was before the single digit, that's your co-pilot.
Will you double check mine, Stephanie, and make sure it's a 9? Make sure I math right. 10/16, 2026.
I know your birthday.
Okay, Joseph, what do you mean? Can I get that list sent to my DM? Which list are you talking about? Because we can make a bunch of posts for you guys about the things we're talking about. We just need to know what you want.
Um, 1 + 0 is 1, is 2.
Yes, it's 9.
Yay!
Yes.
Because if you add it all together, you get 2052. You 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 1 + 0 + 1 + 6 + 2 + 0 + 2 + 6. Yes. So if you add each individual number to get a digit.
Or you can actually do like with her, I added 10 with 16 plus 2026. You get the 2052, add those together. I mean, it all.
That's how I did it. 10 + 16, and then I added that to 2026.
That's how my book shows to do it. So.
I'm terrible with names. I'm sorry. Our names are on the screen, Joseph.
I'm a lucky number 7. Can't forget.
Sevon's in the middle, Stephanie's on the end, and you know me. I just want to make sure we're getting you the information that you're asking for.
Danny, this is so she says she's a 3. This is an Empress year for you.
So for you, that would be about
in the middle. That would do 7. Something you said in the middle. He wants us to make to DM him. Oh, you want the book? The when you figure out what your number is, you want to know what tarot card you are, and then you want the definition of the tarot card. Yeah, we can do that.
I can do that. Just give me your numbers. When's your birthday?
Well, let's we'll do it for him. Yeah, 7 said a lot. I wish I had a book.
This book, if you want to get it for yourself, it's literally called, this one's a 2nd edition. It's Tarot for Yourself. It's a workbook for personal transformation. And inside of it, it shows you how to do your soul number, your birth year, the lessons for your personal self. I should offer that on my thing because I can do a whole thing.
You said it's 2nd edition?
Yeah.
I'm just adding this to the comments for you guys.
It's a blue book.
So we can post a copy of the book to our pages for you guys, but then Sevon can make a flyer that does like a brief breakdown of it all for you guys. So once you figure out your number, you can get a whole message based on that. Or you guys can book with her and she'll do like the full thing for you.
Oh, yeah. I can do everything.
So Luna Bella commented 5.
5. That's
the Hierophant.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big year, girl.
That's about tradition and
conformity and
could be married, but
Aquarius season is going to make you want to rebel against that
oh
stuff.
yeah,
That's reversed.
So Empress to me is divine feminine energy. It can be like mother energy. It's about if you ever look at tarot, if every deck, pretty much every deck, if you look at the Empress, she's always relaxing. She's sitting down because she doesn't have to work for what she wants. She knows that it's just going to gravitate to her, and she's just abundant. She's okay. So something everyone should know about the Empress and the Emperor. They are all of the kings and all of the queens in tarot. They have all of it. So the Emperor represents the King of Pentacles, King of Wands, King of Cups, King of, who am I forgetting? Swords. He embodies all of those qualities. He has perfected them. He is the master. He is the divine masculine. Empress is all of the queens and the same, all of the suits as well. She embodies all of those. She has mastered all of those. She's mama. She's got it all. So for you, your challenges and the things that help you out is embodying that energy. It's learning to love yourself, love others, nurture yourself as much as you're nurturing others. It's a very nurturing, loving, compassionate knowledge. She knows things. She's intuitive. She's got it all. So that's what you're going to be working with this year. There is a whole bunch in here in the book as well, but that's essentially to me what that is.
And of course, the feminine aspect.
Yeah.
In astrology, feminine energy is receiving energy.
Yeah.
So you can be all of it. You can be grounded. You can be thoughtful. You can take action. You can earn things. You can feel things. It's all of it.
You froze. What did you say at the end?
The thing is balancing all of it. You can have it all. You just got to balance.
I feel like, Danny, you need to do things that feel selfish. That's going to be really hard for you, but you have to prioritize yourself and you have to put yourself first. And that is going to be one of the major themes for you unleashing this divine feminine. If it doesn't feel selfish, you're not doing it right. And it's going to feel gross and you're going to hate it and you're not going to want to do it and you're going to want to shy away from it. January, February, March are going to be like very traumatic for you when it comes to emotion and when it comes to the self-sabotage, especially in the mental aspect of it, but you're going to do it. When springtime comes, you're going to be unstoppable.
The questions that the book here for that particular card are asking are how are you nurturing and mothering qualities being used right now? What creative projects are growing and developing? What are you attracting to you? Who is inspiring and nurturing you? And how are you indulging your senses?
Saturn and Aries for a Libra rising. Well, listen, it helps you to be selfish because the focus is on you in a very interesting way.
Mm-hmm.
In the 7th house, it's difficult. If you do not prioritize the self, you will lose all of you. And that is Saturn's punishment in a way. Okay, so you didn't want to do anything for yourself. I'm working hard for you. I'll take you away.
Yeah, literally everything will fall away. Where you feel like purposeless and things just don't make sense. You'll be forced to. I know that because I'm also a Libra rising.
I think it's important too that people have this negative feeling about being, quote unquote selfish or whatever. But one of my favorite sayings is you can't pour from an empty cup. And there's nothing wrong with pouring into other people as long as you're getting poured back into.
Yeah.
So you can continue to the flow. But if there's no flow, it needs to go.
Oh, I like that. If there's no flow, I'm going to write that down. Add that.
It's one of those things where if you're a commodity to others, the only way that you can be a effective part of somebody else's life is if you're a commodity to yourself.
Yeah.
You have to restock yourself before you start giving bits and pieces of yourself to others.
Yeah.
And selfish is both good and bad. It just depends on how you are still you. You are you.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong in you being you and you wanting things. Selfish can be a bad thing, but a lot of time it's a necessarily thing, especially to people pleasers.
That's what I was going to say. It's not necessarily that you're being selfish truly. It's that you're not people pleasing, but that has been your identity for however many years you've been on this planet. So anything you do for yourself feels selfish, and it makes you feel bad. It makes you feel like people are going to misunderstand you and misinterpret your intentions and think that you're like a pick-me bitch, and you're not.
The other thing,
You're not at all. You don't have the ability to be that way.
The other thing too is loving yourself is choosing yourself, and that reflects in the world and with other people. If you treat yourself like crap and you don't stand up for yourself, and people vibe off that, that's an energy you're putting out, and that's one that's going to get reflected back to you. People see you the way you feel about yourself, and that's what they're meant to do, to show you so you can heal that within yourself.
And you guys, like, something said something to me last night that I was like, damn, that's going to be my new motto for this year. Change is not about January 1st. Change is every day. You wake up that day and you're like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I don't want to feel this way anymore. I don't have these conversations anymore. Change it. Whatever day it comes up, whatever the highlight is for that day.
Yeah, I don't believe in New Year's resolutions.
I don't either. Take things, not in January. In spring, yes, not in January. Take things as they come. Take them day by day. You are allowed to be a mess. You're allowed to not know. You're allowed to make mistakes. We all are. We're supposed to. We cannot continue to confine ourselves and be this half-assed version of ourselves who's just barely getting by. We didn't come here to do that. We didn't come here for mediocrity. We came here to experience, to enjoy, to fuck up, to learn, to explore. And this feels like the year to be able to do those things.
It is. And for me personally, an astrologer's new year is spring equinox, first day of Aries season.
Yep.
And the reason why that is you have to look at living intentionally with the sun, with the cycles. Okay. So Capricorn is like, when we're in Capricorn on January 1st, we're in restructuring.
Mm-hmm.
So we're already trying to restructure. And Aquarius is the restructuring of the mind, being an engineer of your mind. And Pisces, the 12th sign of the zodiac, is where we're transitioning between an end and a new beginning.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we have to all sign of the zodiac, all of those feelings, all of those subconscious things that we've been holding on to. And then before the spring equinox and Aries season, when we get back to ourselves, we have to decide what we're letting go of and what we're keeping hold of. And we have to work on things. This is why it's weird to have January 1st in the middle of Capricorn season be our New Year's resolutions. To me, I start January 1st simply because numerology is a new year. It's a new number, but you are building and then you are restructuring and then you are dumping in March. So you have to understand that just because you fall off the bandwagon once we transition from Capricorn to Aquarius season, that's because adjustments need to be made. And then they need to be made again in March for Pisces season. And then that first day of Aries season, take what you want and shoot off running with it, which this Aries season is going to be insane because everything will be in Aries. It's a overload of the self.
You know what I keep like just thinking about for some reason is, you know, like the years, the months are really not what they're like. October is actually 8, not the 10th month. Mm-hmm. December is even supposed to be 10th. So I think that kind of fits in with what things are actually supposed to be, as you know, to what they are.
Yeah.
Which I am actually thinking about doing a whole segment of readings month to month, starting in April, on how to live. Well, starting at the end of March, on how to live intentionally with the sun cycles, because the sun is exalted in Aries. That's why it's so powerful. That's why finally you feel good after months and months and months of the sun's expression being diminished. That's our physical and our mental vitality. That's also your heart space. That's why Leo is ruled by the sun. The Leo is literally the heart.
Yeah.
So you have to look at the cycles of the sun and where it hits in your chart as to how to live intentionally with the universe. When you fight against that, you are missing opportunities. So stay tuned. In March, I might be launching this whole series of readings on how to live intentionally with the
I'm writing this down for you right now because I think you.
Well, I do have a blog out on our website on how to live intentionally with the sun. But this would be this reading would be engineered for your birth chart.
Yeah.
So like for me personally, Cancer rising, this would start with my public reputation and what I consider meaningful for success in the 10th house. And then Taurus season would go to the 11th house of community and friendships. But I have my Chiron there. So I have a wound there. So that's having to work within that wound space. Do I still have any open wounds that need to be cured? And then we go into Gemini season. Now we're into my mental health season because I'm a 12th house Gemini. What is my internal dialogue? What do I need to tweak? What do I need to be mindful of? How do I be mindful every day?
Yeah.
And then we get into Cancer season. This is about physical body. This is about the womb. This is about creation and nurturing and so on and so forth. So the way I would tailor it for me, it would be tailored for like Jordan, Libra rising, Aries. We start with relationships. We start with others in Aries season. Feeling good will involve others.
Yeah.
Do you still have others in your life that make you feel bad? How do we start off the season with only people who build you up and bring you light? And when we're starting our season in the 7th house, what?
If there's no flow, let them go.
Yeah, right. There's no flow, let it go.
Yeah.
But yeah, this April is a lot of Aries action, and we also have Uranus entering Gemini again. And here's where history repeats itself for the year in April.
For me or for everyone?
For everyone, for the United States.
Yeah.
Full moon in Libra, that's important for you on April 2nd. It's a physical reset for you.
Everything you're saying lines up with what I was getting for the spring too, because I kept just feeling like co-creation, collaboration, endings, but then this beautiful renewal of the self and so much focus being on the singular person and what the value is that they can add to these relationships, friendships, co-creation, collaboration. It's about actually finding like your essence and going, oh my God, we fit together. Let's use our essences together. This is so cool. And it feels empowering, and it is not just for like us as individuals, but like us as a collective.
Yeah, but when you don't work on yourself, and this is the whole point, and especially when we get into Aries season, when you don't work on yourself, when you collab with others, you bring your baggage as well.
Yeah. Fact.
And sometimes the best thing to do is to find others that have either conquered the baggage that you carry already. So many people trauma bond like for like.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, you know, I need to be around people who are starters. I need cardinal signs. I need Libras in my life because I'm not a starter. I'm a planner and a studier, no start. I lack start. I need people in my life who will hold me accountable. I need people that are strong enough and confident in themselves that they won't people please me and be like, the bare minimum you gave today is awesome. I need people to be like, you're fucking up.
Yeah.
Stop it. You're moving in fear, not faith. Stop doing that. Like, I need people to do that. So knowing your weaknesses too, and working on those and finding others that don't mirror it back to you.
Yeah.
Is important as well.
I feel like that's where so many of my breakups are going to come from this year. Friendships, families, followers, all of it is literally going to be like, that's a version of me that doesn't exist anymore. And I cannot give you that version of myself because I am no longer that person. So there's this me now who can help and can show up. It can, you know, create radical change this way. But that girl, she's last year. She's not this year. And I think that's going to be hard, not just for me, but for people who have known me for so long. And now there's all these new rules that Jordan plays by.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough, man. I'm going to ruffle some feathers. I know it.
And that's fine, because here's the thing. It's the law of attraction.
Yeah.
If you people please, people that are not working on themselves, that just want to hear the good stuff, are going to gravitate towards you. And that's what your world's going to become.
Yep. And I'm like, hell no, we won't go. Hell no.
If it don't flow like
That's right. That's right. I'm so over that. I'm so over the fluffy, happy all the time. Like, I'm ready to just be everything that I am, and I'm not that person.
don't get me wrong.
Persona that I've been for too long that it just feels like yuck to me now. Like a coat I've worn for too long that I just need to give to Goodwill. Somebody else can have it now. I don't want it anymore.
Yes. Let somebody. Well, and I mean, here's the thing. Like, it's shedding.
Yeah, fact.
That's the shedding part. Is like things fall off. And if we're gonna take, I don't know if anybody else has ever been a snake owner. If we're gonna take shedding on a snake year, literally, one of the last and the most difficult parts of the snake shed is around the eyes. This is when they become super aggressive because they can't see clearly. This is why their sense of smell and they stop eating is because they can't see their prey. So they have to rely only on their sense of smell because the eyes are covered, and that's uncomfortable. And sometimes you even have to help that shed.
Yeah.
So if you take that literally, the last part of the shed that comes off is what's blocking your vision. What's blocking your sight? What have you been blind to? What do you need to see clearly?
That's a beautiful analogy. I love that.
It really is.
So it's those rose-colored glasses, which Neptune loves to put on, but Neptune is also going to be transiting back into Aries from Pisces. It did so well for our masking and our rose-colored glasses on how they feel. We're going to see ourselves for how we really are, which is going to remove the rose-colored glasses for everyone else, because once you realize who you are, you know who you can't relate to anymore.
Exactly. That's the biggest thing for me. That's what I'm seeing the most in patterns, just specifically for myself, is rooms I don't resonate in, conversations I don't resonate in, people I don't want to be around. Like,
and Aquarius is a very community based as well. So it's those whole ass communities that you don't fit into anymore. And then you have to look at the wounds in your chart. All my wounds in my chart are social.
What are mine? Do you know?
I do not remember.
Okay, that's fine.
But I'm a 7th house wound and an 11th house wound. Literally partners, business partners, marriages, and social communities and friendships.
Yeah, mine is relationship. I know that.
Yeah. So
very similar to what you have.
Yeah. So when you look at that, like what communities have I gotten myself into that I have not been vibing with for a long time? And until I see myself properly, do I know that this does not align? And just because it doesn't align with you doesn't mean it's bad. And that's the other thing.
Yeah.
You're not demonizing people. You're not demonizing groups. You're choosing something in better alignment with yourself.
100%.
It's not a let go. It's a choice. And when we're talking about motivation and versus discipline, that's a disciplinary action.
Yeah.
Moving forward isn't just something that happens. It's a choice. It's a decision you make. So
I feel like some of us have been feeling that for not even some of us,
really
all of us have been feeling it for so long and just haven't had that power behind us to do something about it. This year, the power comes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of finalizations, a lot of changes, a lot of boundaries, and a lot of authenticity with this whole year.
Yeah, because it's getting back to your true nature.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, you're never going to feel ready to do it, because being ready isn't a feeling, it's a decision.
Yep. 100%.
So
we were definitely not ready to launch a podcast at Christmas, but we did it anyway.
Yes.
We were like, no, we have this great idea and it's so cool. If we don't do it right now, we're not going to do it. Fuck it. Let's just do it. And we did it. And it's been amazing.
Yeah. We were like, oh my God, our kids are off school. Everything is crazy. We're all broke and we're all tired, but that's fine. We'll just start a whole podcast.
Yep.
We're all super busy getting ready for January 1 stuff. That's fine. We'll start a podcast.
Yep.
Challenge accepted.
Yes. Challenge accepted.
I feel like, honestly, that's why we did it, though. We wanted the day to be challenged. We were all so done with just living the way that we were. It was time to just spice it up as spicy as we could make it.
Honestly, the best things are done when it's the hardest.
Yes.
That's when it sticks.
Yep.
Which, now that I'm moving on to May, oof.
You guys are so sweet. We love you guys so much. Thank you for supporting us.
I've been looking at the astrology. I have not been looking at the comments.
Oh, I'm watching them flow in where everyone's calling us rock stars and resonating with us and grateful that we started the podcast. That's amazing.
That
And
makes
it's so
me feel
funny
good.
for me because like we were talking about, and I do that a lot in my life with so many things. Like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we did this and we should do this? And then, oh shit, we're actually doing this now. We're going live now. That was just crazy.
See, and Jordan was the cardinal rising and the cardinal sign starters. Guys, if you don't have the ability to start, get some cardinal signs in your life.
See, and that's where Sevon and Stephanie are my powerhouses because I'm a starter, but I'm not consistent.
Oh, I'm not.
So I rely on Sevon because she's like fun. She's the whimsical one. She's the one that's like, challenge, fuck yeah, let's do it. Like, rock on. Stephanie's the one that's like, hey, cut the bullshit. This is exactly how we need to do it. Plan everything out. Here's all of our themes. Here's our calendar. Boom, set, match, go. And I'm like, yes.
For now.
To be fair, though, if I was doing this by myself, especially with how I've been feeling, I probably wouldn't do it. But because I'm with you guys, I'm here. You know what I mean?
My Capricorn placements are in charge right now.
We love them.
Give it a little bit. I might become unhinged. I'm holding it together.
I want unhinged views.
I was going to say that. I love unhinged everything.
Take the hinges off.
My God.
I know the dates. So this will be more like ranty me.
Yeah.
So we're talking about topics that I'm passionate about. Passionate Stephanie is different from crazy Stephanie. If we're just pulling cards and serving people business, I'm a different Stephanie.
Yeah.
See, I can't wait to channel alongside you doing that because I feel like it's going to make me more me.
It's hard for me. So when, like, to me, this podcast, we're talking about passionate things and people's progress. I am an empowerer. That's why my 7th house is ruled by Capricorn with Venus and Mercury in it. I empower others.
Mm-hmm.
That is my goal. So I get really into it and I have my counselor voice on and I'm ready to go. But when I'm just handing people business out with the cards,
see, I'm ready to see that. I'm ready to see her. I love both. I do. I love both. I'll advocate for both, but I'm so excited to see that part of you.
It gets intense. And especially with my facial expressions. It's subtitled.
Yeah, Sevon always says that. She's like, I know what you said, but I also saw what your face told me. So don't be so fucking nice next time. I'm like, I'm learning.
Yeah,
I learned after I watch her do her lives. I'm like, I know what you should have
said that a lot nicer than your soul wanted you to, but I commend you for that. So
yeah, it's different when I'm reading cards because I'm in the moment. And the way I deliver messages is different. So right now, because I don't have like someone on the receiving end of this is just broadcast. Mm-hmm. Like I said, that's when I'm in my counselor mode. But when I'm handing out cards, I'm like, you asked for this. And that's where the attitude comes from. You literally asked for this.
Okay, we are going to get that version.
I'll see some bullshit and then I'll be like, are you sure you want me to tell you what I see? Mm-hmm. And if they give me the go ahead, the gloves are off. Now we're Sagittarius. We're not in our Capricorn placements.
Yeah, I hope y'all are ready for this version that we're talking about all of ourselves because you're going to get it on the next podcast. So be prepared for that.
What are we doing next podcast?
The do's and don'ts of readings. What to do, what not to do, how not to show up for readings. It's going to be a lot, but we're going to be doing readings during those. So y'all definitely do not want to miss next week's podcast.
Uh-oh, what happened? She disappeared.
I can't hear her either. I wonder if she got a phone call or something. Oh, she'll be back. Okay, so we are in May, right? April, May, June. We're still in the spring months for the predictions.
I did the beginning. Well, for me, mine aren't so much time as it's more like overlook of the soul. I can pull more.
That's fine. For May, I feel like May is passion driven, but it also involves a lot of endings, and there's still a fair amount of sabotage when it comes to. Wait, I'm talking. Are we in March or May?
I thought
May.
I was up to May.
Yeah, May. Okay. Yes. So there's passion, there's endings, there's renewal. Collaboration more so feels like June because there's still an element of sabotage in May that I pick up on.
So far for me, I'm getting that's when things need to be, it's presented that things need to be released, that nothing is set in stone, things are changing. But that felt like, coming from the last part of the reading, that feels so much like that whole recalibrating thing. There's still recalibration going. There's still reflection happening on there's so much on what people really resonate with your heart, there's a whole battle, it feels like, between the head and heart. Yeah. Like what you think you want, what you think you need, what you think you can even have, as to what your heart is telling you, what your passions are telling you, where you really, what you have to understand that whatever preconceived notion you have is truth. Whatever you believe is going, because you're going to act on that. You're going to respond to things in that way. You are in control. Mm-hmm. So many people feel like that whole, like, life is happening to you, it's happening for you, and you are in the driver's seat. You really are. Yes, there's astrological stuff that helps in certain areas and it's going to trigger you and challenge you, but it's still working for you. You need to work with it and with what you're feeling. It's so much about what you're feeling and getting in touch with that. And yes, listen to your head. Good thoughts will come there, good ideas, knowing when to act and not to act, but don't get stuck there. And fear. My biggest thing is, with so many people that I read, is if everyone just realized that what you want is on the other side. What are you the most afraid of? If you can tackle that, everything you ever wanted is on the other side of that.
Yeah.
So it's knowing where, that's why triggers are actually for you. They help you. They tell you where to look to heal. They tell you where you need to put your focus. If something's bothering you, that's your soul speaking to you. You need to pay attention. I don't know where all that just came from. I pulled one card.
Oh, that was incredible. I'm like taking notes off of that right now.
But a lot of it's connected, because it's connected to self and where your fears are and where your soul is screaming for, and that whole recalibration of who you are. Maybe you wanted to be somebody before, or you wanted certain things now, where I feel like a lot of people are going to realize that's really not what you want anymore.
Thank you, Joseph. Hope you have a great day. Yeah, whenever you were talking about like triggers and fears and all of that, I had a motto for all year last year. And my motto was, fuck your mood, get it done. And I did not allow my mood to dictate what I was and was not going to do. I pushed through so much fear last year. Yeah. And I'm really proud of the fact that I was able to do that. But I also feel like I kind of lost myself a little bit in that, because I at some point started feeling kind of like a show pony. So I'm this year finding that happy middle between, fuck your mood, get it done. And then really sitting with myself and going, how do I actually feel? And then basing things that I'm doing on how I feel, and not just saying, fuck your mood, get it done. Like, that's part of it, yes. Especially with like the mental health aspect of it for me and the depressive episodes that I have and stuff. That's kind of like a highlight. And that's why I chose the fuck your mood, get it done. Like, don't let how your brain is dictating things to prevent you from being great. That was kind of like the theory behind the fuck your mood, get it done. But I want to do so much more that's just raw, and so much more that's just so much more me and so real, connected to how I actually feel.
Yeah.
We got a time frame.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm still pulling cards.
May is very interesting, because we have a blue moon series, because we have 2 full moons. Mm-hmm. We start off May 1st with a full moon in Scorpio, and we end the last day of May 31st with a full moon in Sagittarius. I could not be more excited for these 2 energies combining for our blue moon situation. First of all, I'm going to be making all the product, charging all the water, charging all the oil, because it's going to be insane. But we also have Venus entering Cancer during this time frame. This is where nurturing yourself comes into heavy play, because we'll have Venus and Jupiter in Cancer, and Jupiter will no longer be retrograde at the same time. This is where like we had that and then we felt it and then it was gone. And this is going to be a recreation of that during Taurus season. So I feel like setting down roots and being stubborn in your self-care really, really takes hold in May.
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of mastering how you're communicating your feelings with the people around you, your loved ones, trying to balance that happiness and honoring yourself while honoring others type of thing. And there's this whole aspect of waiting to see how things pan out from that. And I think that aligns with the whole, if it doesn't flow, let it go thing. Who is flowing? That's kind of for me like that. And like the way you communicate how you're feeling in the direction that you're going, waiting to see who's coming with you.
So that's funny that you mentioned communication because Mercury makes some interesting moves. Also during the full moon in Scorpio, which is very emotional, but it's like that dark emotional, right? It's like, it's that deep connection to ourselves, but we're not feeling gross about it. We're actually fascinated with our darkness. At the same time, we have Mercury conjunct Chiron. Chiron is a wound in our chart, and it'll be in Aries still at that point. So it's the wound of the self. So better communication with you versus others, because then 2 days later, May 3rd, Mercury moves into Taurus, and Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus is people. So that whole period through there where we're communicating with the wound of the self, and we're moving into that steady communication with ourselves and our community, but we're choosing us first in Taurus, is going to be some really good communication. And then later that month, May 17th, Mercury moves into Gemini. This is when we're communicating with ourselves every day, but also the dual purpose and the duality within ourselves. It's not us and others. It's a version of us and another version of us, and choosing between the two.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of anxieties and fears being confronted when it comes to this communication and building things moving forward with what really aligns with the heart space and seeing where the direction takes us.
When you were talking about all that, Sevon, I got a highlight on releasing control to allow the truth.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's going to be a highlight of May and June as well, is not needing to control everything, not needing to control the outcome or the narrative of anything, and allowing things to happen so we can see what's truly going on.
Yeah.
Especially from like an intuitive and psychic standpoint. There's so much hidden truth because of the way that people are projecting themselves that a lot of the highlight is going to need to be for us to not try to control anything. Just watch and find the truth in it. And that is going to be for ourselves too.
I also feel on the shadow aspect of that, a lot of people are going to struggle with, because they want like the flow, if it doesn't flow, let it go thing, might try to overcompensate and overprotect themselves.
Yeah.
And not allow certain things in their life that might actually benefit them. So there needs to be a balance there.
Yeah, that's why I get that whole releasing control thing. We don't always need to be in control of everything that happens. Sometimes we're the ebb to the flow. And we need to be able to allow that and not have to go, oh, this doesn't feel right. I need to do something. Oh my God, I'm being called to action. Like maybe the action is to just let it not feel right for right then and see why. Let it play out.
Astrologically, this is why I love that blue moon phase, the full moon in Scorpio to the full moon in Sagittarius, because Scorpio energy is not flow. It's fixed water. So you are stubborn about feelings. And Sagittarius energy is very go with the flow. So during those, from the first day of May to the last day of May, we learn our flow. We have to deal with our duality first when Mercury enters Gemini and choose specific versions of ourselves. But we learn to go with the flow emotionally with those full moons in May. Because there's no more go with the flow than a Sagittarius moon. Literally, we're just out here reacting to our emotions every day. Just like, I feel like this, I'm going to destroy this. And then I feel like this, and I'm going to destroy this.
Yeah.
Let me know when you guys are ready to move on to June.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I get a lot of like that final renewal, sense of purpose, collaboration, connection, choice, and freedom. June feels a lot like freedom.
Freedom. Sorry. Sagittarians love freedom. So.
We built our whole personality. We have some interesting things in June. June 1st, Mercury enters Cancer. We're having an emotional discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also awesome because this same month. So we have Mercury in Cancer. So we're communicating with our feelings. We're communicating with our sense of nurturing, our sense of home, our sense of our mothers versus us as mothers, all of this nurturing feminine energy. But then we have Venus conjunct Jupiter in Cancer as well. This is where the minor benefic and the greater benefic join forces. So it's all of the good feelings and it's rosy and it looks good.
What's the benefic?
So a benefic is a planet that works for you, not against you.
Oh.
So you have the minor benefic, which is Venus. She gives us money. She gives us our relationships. She gives us our social environments. She gives us beauty and art and all of these. The reason why she's the minor is because it's like that surface level stuff. The things that we can appreciate in real time. Where the greater benefic, Jupiter, gives us all those internal dynamics. Abundance and generosity and faith and when we talk about Jupiter and higher learning or higher elevation, it's not just like college, right? It's the higher elevation of the self. It's ultimate personal growth. And they combine forces in our feelings on, what is it? Sun enters Cancer.
I'm getting a lot about like
June 9th.
Fresh starts and like love type stuff. A lot, like dreams and perspectives on what you're wanting romantically in your relationships and stuff like that.
Well, Venus is about relationships, and then on the 13th, after Venus conjuncts Jupiter, Venus moves into Leo. This is where like we have the potential to attract a partner. Because you'll be visible.
Do you see anything with like healing from past wounds and relationships as you're moving through?
Yes, because Chiron leaves Aries and enters Taurus on June 19th. So when Chiron is in a Venus-ruled sign, it's okay. It's not just the wound of the relationship. It's healing the wound of your foundation for relationships.
Okay.
How that first bad relationship or those first relationships with your parents or the first toxic boyfriend or girlfriend that you ever had, how it's structured, either good relationships because you learned from the wound or a series of bad relationships because you didn't recognize it and you got in a toxic pattern.
Is there a theme for that happening right now? Because I feel like I'm already addressing some of that.
With Jupiter in Cancer retrograde, yes. But it's more about your perspective, you versus others, where this is an overall about others.
Gotcha.
This is going to be heavily focused on that, the structuring that you've set up with your relationships and the foundations that you've built, who you choose on.
Yeah.
Another thing too is if you're one of those people that doesn't like change, when Chiron is in Taurus, you better learn to go with the flow. Because if it don't flow, it's got to go and it's going to be flowing.
I was picking up heavily on that whole ebb and flow thing and like not needing to overly control your environment. You're going to have to be able to just go with it.
The dam breaks June 29th when Mercury stations retrograde in the second water sign for the year in Cancer. Cancer's call to home is a literal emotional home, right? This is why Cancers love to be home, because home is sanctuary. Your sanctuary is going to change. And what have you put in there?
Yeah.
What have you built your emotional standing on? What emotional coping mechanisms that used to work for you that were your go-to are no longer going to serve you?
Mhm.
And that's where the dam breaks. Then we have the full moon in Capricorn the same day, which is rough because that says Mercury says we need to talk to ourselves. And the full moon in Capricorn says, no, we need to just carry on. Don't just carry on. Don't miss opportunities to communicate with your feelings. And then the next day, June 30th, Jupiter enters Leo, which let me change my time thing because I think it's different for us. But in my time zones. Yes. When Jupiter enters Leo, you need to do the healing because you're going to be a lot of focused on where you shine and making money after Jupiter enters Leo.
This is mid-June. Yeah.
Yes, because Venus will enter Leo and then Jupiter will enter Leo. And then the focus will be on present day monetary things and how things look versus how things feel. So take all the things that Cancer gives you and then deal with the emotional repercussions, then have your Capricorn and full moon, and then start focus on real-time stuff because you want to be seen. You want the Jupiter activation of where Leo is in your chart is huge. Although Jupiter is exalted, meaning it's super powerful in Cancer, it's more of like those feeling connections.
Yeah.
If you want those connections that are going to give you physical things, Jupiter and Leo, I would jump on the bandwagon, fix your body. Leo voted most likely to go to the gym. And then the day after with a Capricorn full moon, if you have fitness goals, if you have body goals, I don't give a shit about January 1st. Set your good goals for June. Build up, right? Start your journey, hit the gym, get a gym membership, work on a little bit here and there, and then start like CrossFit in June. Like this is where we're really leveling up. If you have money goals, June.
It's interesting because I put money goals for July. So I'm proud that it's that close.
Well, yeah, because Jupiter enters Leo the last day of June, June 30th.
Oh, shit. So
July, we're starting to reap those benefits.
Yeah, I put money house for July, calm after the storm, figuring out the new you. There's playful energy, and then it gets serious in August.
Yeah,
it's
that
more
Mercury,
like fun and inspiring July, and August is like crunch time.
That Mercury retrograde in Cancer is going to be personal for some of us. And not so personal for others. The ones that it's not so personal on, you will not be bogged down by the emotional. You'll be communicating with yourself emotionally, but that sun, that Leo energy is going to be like, get a girl, get a girl. Mm-hmm. It's bags, it's cash, it's notoriety. I will say overspending will be high. If you don't have the cash, don't spend it because everything... You're going to prioritize entertainment. If it looks fun, if it looks flashy, you're going to buy it and then you're going to be broke. You'll make money, but if you spend more than you make, it's going to be an issue.
I got a whole deep message.
Go ahead.
So that whole romantic stuff, the relationships, love, all of that, the highlight of that though is very deep. It's about gaining perspective on accountability for how things went wrong in your relationships before you can start a new, fresh one on stable ground. There's a lot of reflecting on the past. If you were abandoned by somebody, you need to focus on how you abandoned yourself. If someone hurt you, you need to look at how you allowed that. You know what I mean? If you felt ignored or mistreated, how did you allow that? How did you do that towards yourself? That was a reflection for you to really focus on. And I'm seeing that so deeply because I've got the Temperance, I've got the Hermit, and the first two cards out were the Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords. It's the end of that cycle. But all of that needs to be healed because I also see, along with that, the Temperance, I've got the Ace of Pentacles, which is a fresh start in the material world. And the connecting end card to all that is the Wheel of Fortune. But there's so much reflection on the past and reliving there are things you think about, go back and think of this relationship. Oh, you miss this person, but look at it now. Did you really feel the love from that person? Were you really happy with that person? You feel like you miss them, but how was it really that good?
Yeah.
What did you learn from that about yourself and what you want out of relationships and what you don't want out of relationships? That needs to be like prime focus, and you need to start putting intention and planting seeds towards what you want to grow when it comes to your relationships.
Yeah, I feel like when people look back on those, that's the key thing that they miss. They don't miss the person. They miss the version of themselves they were in that relationship.
Or the feelings that they thought were there, but that weren't. Yeah, that person made me feel good. But did they really make you feel good? Or was that just the way that you felt at certain times with them, but then they were going behind your back and doing this? Or they'd be, if they were in a good mood, they might have treated you really well, but then when they were in a bad mood, they were a jerk. Well, yeah. That's a person shows their true colors not in times that things are good. They show their true colors when they're bad. How do they react when they're in a bad mood or life's kind of kicking them down? How do they treat you then? Because that's their true character.
Yep.
Do you want to know why you resonate with that message so much, Sevon?
Why? Do I?
This is our Chiron return.
Oh.
We both have Chiron and Taurus. And it's funny that you brought up abandonment, because I was just talking with a Taurus rising yesterday about abandonment issues. Abandonment issues create people pleasers. So you have two forms of people that come out of abandonment issues. Either it's the person that learns to people please because they're trying to hold on to anyone that will stay with them.
Yeah.
Or they learn to avoid personal attachment completely so that they don't have anyone in their lives deep enough that they allow themselves to ever be hurt like that again.
I'm guilty of that one. I'm strong on that one.
You have the two halves, the one that becomes the people pleaser because they can't upset anyone in their life because they might leave them. And then you have the one that never forms tight companionship because they could potentially be hurt and abandoned.
Yeah.
And some people start with the people pleasing and then go to that, or start with the other and then gravitate toward the people pleasing. So it's a shield. Taurus is fixed earth. It is immovable mountains. It is literally the shield, the things that's not going to shake. So it's one of the hardest wounds because it's the one that's the most stubborn. Because we need people, but if you're choosing wrong people for yourself, you will constantly get hurt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a tough thing too, is like always being the one that's available for everyone else, but choosing relationships where people are not available for you and thinking you deserve it.
Yes.
It's such a fucked up relationship to have with yourself.
Trust me, I have my Lilith in the 7th house involving partnerships, and Chiron in the 11th house of friendship and community. I have those thoughts all of the time about how often I have allowed people to just treat me like crap. Mm-hmm. And how I set a foundation of being other people's doormats.
Yeah.
And how most of the people in my life, I would choose them first, but no one in my life would ever choose me first.
I feel that.
And that's what happens when you have communal wounds, wounds around your social environment. And even if you don't have that natally, this will be a temporary wound for you. Sevon and I just so happen to have this.
Have it natally, yeah.
So
I feel like it's one of those things too that like you were saying, even if it's not like a huge aspect of your natal chart, it resonates with everybody. We've all gone through something, whether we abandoned ourselves or we were abandoned, that wound is just like festering in damn near everybody.
Yes.
So I feel like we're all going to get hit heavily with that theme, you know?
When you look at like, okay, let's take us as a nation and how we've developed. And we're looking at the birth chart of the United States. We're at Sagittarius rising. So literally freedom.
Yeah.
This is when we broke free. This is when we came. But everything else is in Cancer. So nurturing and communication and feelings and things like that. But it's an Aquarius moon on the day the Declaration of Independence was signed. So it's that disassociation from emotion. Everything is in Cancer, pointing toward emotion. And the Sagittarius rising is screaming at freedom. And the Aquarius moon hasn't caught up with any of it yet.
Yeah.
So literally the community we've built ourselves on is removing emotion. And that's what the past 250 years has been. Oh, you're tired? Move on. Oh,
Right.
You don't want to work for pennies? Well, we own you. Move on. Oh, you don't want to do this? Just work. Disassociate, move on. Disassociate and move on. And then, so this is how the U.S. has been structured.
Yeah.
Even the government making decisions for us, they're not worried about how we feel. They're not worried about any of that care, even though the sun is in Cancer that day, but it's in the 8th house. So it's emotional control.
It's interesting you brought that up too, because not to get too political with this, but I feel like there are going to be more crazy things that happen in 2026. Kind of like, we're not printing pennies anymore. Get fucking ready, because this whole year is going to be crazy shit like that.
All that stuff with Pluto and Aquarius that I was talking about, it starts in February. I mean, it's already started, but things get ugly in February.
And it's like, we don't even recognize this as the United States anymore, because one, the fucking veil's gone. So we're getting to see so much more of the truth and what's really fucking happening behind the scenes. And then the fact that so many people are realizing, wow, I don't fucking have a voice. What I do, say, think, and feel doesn't fucking matter. This is crazy. I live in like a fucking Looney Tune reality. That is going to fuck so many people up. And then it's just going to be like a continuation of that all year. Like even some of the laws and stuff that I was like channeling, I wanted to disassociate from it. Just as a psychic who was channeling the information, like, fuck, why do I have to know that right now? That fucks up so many things. And like, then I already have emotions towards it and a preconceived notion about it. And I'm just like, this is so fucked for this year, because I want to do all these things, but that's going to affect all the things I want to do. And man, that really sucks. But again, we can't let any of that stuff like stop us either. It can't be what I like to call the devil in the doorway that prevents us from still pushing through and doing it anyway. We're gonna have to pivot. This will be the year of pivoting. A lot of pivoting.
This is the last of our crisis era.
Yeah.
So Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune are generational planets, and they all moved into new zodiac signs. But then they retrograded back, and now we're done.
Yeah.
Pluto's in Aquarius till 2044. When Neptune moves into Aries at the end of this month, it'll be there till 2039, and then Uranus moves into Gemini soon. I wrote down the date somewhere, but I don't know where it is. April 27th, Uranus enters Gemini and is there for a really, really long time. So literally we're starting that repeat history, but then look at how it got better.
Yeah, especially because we're getting to see so much more of what's actually happening, and not so many things can be hidden from us anymore. We're in this awakening era, but that also is going to affect so many of us in a really negative way, honestly.
Because you have to look at like these outer planets. We're not just talking about the Revolutionary War. We're also talking about Uranus and Gemini, Neptune and Aries. We're talking about the Civil War as well.
Yeah.
The worst things that will happen to the U.S. will happen in-house.
That's exactly how I feel about it. It's going to be on our soil, and that is going to fuck up a lot of stuff.
Yes. So
but
when we hit
July, August, yep.
We hit July 4th. It's so funny because we hit July 4th, Independence Day. We're celebrating 250 years. Mars conjunct Uranus in Gemini. So this is Civil War.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I feel. And like the Boston Tea Party, where we've just had enough as a collective and we're like, fuck
Which is crazy to me because the Boston Tea Party happened on a 2% tax on tea. And just look at how much we get taxed, which is funny because the 8th house rules taxes. And when the U.S. was created, it was everything in Cancer, Mercury retrograde in the 8th house of taxes. So, I mean, it's just control. Power dynamics and control. So We look at this. Mars is the planet of war, literally the god of war, conjunct the planet of rebellion in Gemini.
Literally, and that's what I see. I just see so much community rebellion that shit cannot stay the way that it has been. And the amount of change that is coming, I don't think you could ever be ready for. Even if people knew about it in mass scale, it is not something you can prepare for.
And I know people are like, ooh, hot topics, like all the political hot I don't like to talk about political stuff, but it's not going to be the political hot topics. We're talking about Mars, Uranus, Neptune stations retrograde, Venus enters Virgo, new moon in Cancer, Sun enters Leo, Mercury stations retrograde, or Mercury stations direct. So we're communicating properly. But then a few days later, July 26th, Saturn stations retrograde in Aries. When we're looking at all of that energy, it's going to be like, we can't live every day. It's a back to basics things. It's none of the hot topics that the government keeps trying to throw our way.
Yeah, we're done believing that.
We literally can't afford our day to day.
Yep.
We need to get back to basics. That's the energy of July.
Yep. And that's like the whole Boston Tea Party thing. That's the whole theme that I get for all of that, is us all as a collective being like, hey, none of this shit works if we don't work. So fuck you guys.
Yeah.
And we literally pull a Boston Tea Party move. I see it as a collective, especially for the United States. I don't know if it's because I've been doing so many people's readings from Australia, but I feel like major fucking changes in Australia too. And I've already started seeing them, like the fact that they outlawed like YouTube and all the AI shit and everything. And they're like, no, protect these children, protect these up and coming generations.
Look at Australia. Look at China. Look at China.
What'd you say? I missed that.
Look at Australia. Look at China. Be doing some interesting. Okay, so it's going to be one of those things where we're going to see things happen in China, and we're going to be like, how do we make that work for us in the US? It's not going to work here.
Yeah, we don't have the same leadership. We don't have the same skill sets. We don't have the
culture. It has to blow up in our face before we can get back to what we were built on.
It's so much more transparent in China than what it is here. It is becoming more transparent for us. We are seeing beyond the bullshit. Oh, look, this happened over here. We don't give a fuck about over there. We give a fuck about the fact that we can't feed our fucking kids. No one cares about what you guys created over here anymore. Like the wool being pulled over our fucking eyes is gone, bro. Totally gone. And that's going to be tough this year. It's going to be a hard pill to swallow this year for sure.
We've been dumped with so much. So when you expand with the internet, and this is Pluto and Aquarius again, technology can be damning.
Yep.
Technology can make our lives amazing. If it wasn't for the internet, we wouldn't be able to do this live today. But it can be damaging. And us being able to tap into global, us being able to make strangers on the internet now our problem. And it's been so easy to distract us. We need to get back to basics. Why can't we afford to pay our bills? Why is the wages not going up as much as all of our bills? Why are we taking things away from ourselves to give to others and to make us feel guilty about not just concentrate on home? That was the whole point of Jupiter being in Cancer. Bring it back home. Why can't we just be concerned with our husbands and our wives and our children and our parents and all of these things that are here?
Exactly.
Everything else is a distraction. Get your house right.
I agree.
It starts at home. It starts with you.
Yep. I'm ready for the Boston Tea Party. I've seen it. I know it's coming. I know the energy.
I'm just ready for tea. Every time you say tea, I'm like, I should get up and make a cup of tea. Yeah. Sevon, did you pull cards on all that nonsense?
Nope. Not my circus, not my monkeys. I know it affects me somehow, but somehow it doesn't, so I don't worry about it. I do the whole politics and world thing. I'm with you with the whole everyone's so focused on pointing fingers outside, and the government is shit. We all know that. That's nothing new. But like, focus in your home. If everybody focused on themselves and made themselves better, it would, like a chain reaction, things would get better.
Yeah.
Yep.
do what you can on your end. A lot of people can bitch and complain about things. There's nothing you can personally do about it except for get your own personal shit in order. That's it.
Yeah, and complaining never fixed any fucking thing. Maybe venting and talking to other people so you can get ideas, but without action, it's pointless.
Yeah.
And then honestly, even government-wise, if we can't come together with our neighbors, we can't fix our communities.
No, absolutely.
Which means we can't fix states, which means we can't fix state governments, which means states can't come together to fix federal governments. Like, it's one of those things where it has to start at home, and that's Jupiter and Cancer. If you're not making the most of bringing it back home, like I'm an astrologer. I set my life up for Jupiter and Cancer. We started our gardening. We started with our chickens. That's why, honestly, he's been really quiet.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
I haven't even heard him.
Honestly, he must be napping or something.
I wonder if he's hawk watching or something. Like he's in the zone.
Yeah, he might be hawk watching. But yeah, so like all of these things that we've been doing to make ourselves more sustainable because we're bringing it back home.
Yeah.
I can't go to Kroger and tell them that I hate how far off they've let our food quality go.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to listen. They're not going to care. They make a ton of money. All I go up there for is essentials and my 4 times fuel points on Friday. If I want good food, I'll grow it myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring it back home.
Mm-hmm.
And then the complaints about people in the world, you those of you who are parents, raise your children right. So because that whole, the children are our future isn't bullshit. It sounds corny, but it's true.
Yeah.
Who you're putting out into the world, they're going to make a difference some which way, shape, or form. And they're the ones who are going to run things when we're all gone.
Mm-hmm. Listening to our kids is so valuable. It's so important. Like I was watching Stranger Things with my son, and he was like, "Mom, it's crazy how much like when you watch shows like this, they like try to teach kids to drink and do bad stuff." And the fact that like it made me cry because my son is 10 years old, and what I've done as a mom has like taught him that. And like, I'm like, damn, what if I would have had that? You know, like I get to like, I'm going to get emotional now, but I get to live vicariously through him because I don't let the world touch him that way. I don't let the world taint my kids like that. Like there's a truth to all of that. And all this shit is programming. And they do want you to do these things and stay dumb and stay in these fucking patterns. And if you teach your kids that that's what it is, they'll see it for what it truly is. And it takes away the ability for them to be mind controlled and shit.
In the land of illusion, all we can do is teach our kids to think for themselves.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
And like that whole like kids asking questions and a lot of parents get annoyed with it. That's first of all kind of intelligence.
Yeah.
Second of all, they want to learn and to question authority. I'm for it. I tell my son all the time, just because someone, yes, you respect your elders, but just because someone who's older acts a certain way or tells you to do a certain thing, always, how does it feel to you? Does it feel like it's a good thing, or does it feel like if it's a bad thing? If it's a bad thing, then you shouldn't do it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like being able to have tough conversations with our kids and being able to truly answer them, I just feel like that's a value that you can't put money on or anything. It's literally how we change the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's your kids need a space to be able to be children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you also need to teach them wisdom, not just things that they read, but wisdom. Like, this is what I've noticed. This is what I've learned.
Mm-hmm. That's why I tell my kids, I'm like, I learn things every day, and I'm 34. You never stop learning. And that thirst for knowledge should always be there, and you should question everything. That is something I've always taught both of my kids. Just because somebody says something to you doesn't make it true. Question it. Find a truth for yourself and stand on that. When something doesn't feel right to you, it's not right. And you need to figure out why.
And I feel it's so important too that like I made this mistake with my oldest, like completely sheltering him from things to overly protecting him and, you know, being really keen on what he's looking at, watching, learning about. But I think it's important that we don't do that. I mean, yes, to an extent we should, but they need to know how to be able to react and act in certain situations when it's presented to them, because you're not always going to be there. They need to learn how things actually are in the world, so they're not so shocked and don't know how to react when they're presented with it.
Yep, exactly. I agree. What are we on? August now?
August, which you get a personal glow up August 6th, Jordan.
I'll take
Venus
it.
enters Libra. Venus comes home to Libra.
I love that. August, I honestly didn't get a lot for like, because things were so crazy in June and July that I was channeling. August kind of felt like the calm after the storm, and we're all just like, what the fuck is going on?
Chiron stations retrograde in Taurus. Venus enters Libra. So there's a lot of feel good versus is good.
Yeah.
Then we have a new moon and a solar eclipse in Leo, which is ego related. Mercury conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. Good things. But then we have Mars will be in Cancer at the same time. Emotional motivation, tempers flare. But then we end August with a lunar eclipse in Pisces, so full moon in Pisces. By the end of August, it's I'm gonna say honestly, the rat race is healing and insightful, but emotionally exhausting. So this is where the disassociation is necessary.
Yeah.
Where we just kind of have to numb out for a little bit, especially when the sun enters Virgo and Mercury enters Virgo. That'll make compartmentalizing very easy. So if in August, by the end of the summer, you've just had enough, Mars is in Cancer. If you literally talk to anyone, you're going to pop off. Hermit.
That's what I feel too. Like the calm after the storm, but like needing to be alone. You need to figure out how you feel about all the crazy shit that transpired already throughout the year and kind of like play an internal catch up. And you can't do that if you're being influenced by everything going on around you. So it goes back to the whole like take it home. Focus on the home. Focus on you, how you show up in your home. I really feel like the quiet of August is necessary. And I love that we get those astrological boosts and that positive energy. Honestly, though, Stephanie, I know I told you a little bit, but I feel like August is going to be like for you.
Mars is in Cancer. I'm a Cancer rising. I already know.
Okay.
That pop-off energy.
Yeah. Like very tough conversation, but like putting people in their place finally. But the need to be mindful of your words when you do that, because you literally have the ability to destroy people.
I know.
And that they are. Like, oh, you want to fuck around? Now you can figure out how to Phoenix, bitch. Now you're burnt.
Yeah. Well, and then Mercury conjunct Jupiter in Leo and fiery Leo energy. And it's at the same time as we have this new moon and solar eclipse in Leo. So if I can make it to Virgo season, I'll be all right. But if I don't make it past August 22nd, it's over for some people.
Yeah, like literally. That's what I keep seeing. Like the whole year for you leading up to that is just going to be like a shit dump of like, why am I still dealing with this? Why do I care? Why am I putting up with this? Why am I having this conversation again? It's a lot of internal dialogue. But man, oh man, if by August you haven't been like, yeah, what does Sevon say? Not my circus, not my monkeys, and like completely separate yourself from it. It's gonna be like that, a punch to the throat, but not to you. It's from you to other people. You're just done, and you need to be done. August is a powerhouse of a month for you, but there's really good news too, because when I connect to August to you, I get a highlight in the home. So there's a highlight in the home when it comes to like communication, when it comes to showing up for each other, support. The support is there. The love is there. The passion is there. That push is there. The home is like a hive mind for you. Like the mind, the heart, and the physical, there's a peace in the home in August for you. So while the world is crazy and everything is like, what the fuck is going on? And while is all this shit happening to me, home is safe and home is sacred.
Do you want to know what tarot card I pulled for the month of August?
What?
Curious.
The High Priestess reversed.
That's
hey, it fits.
That also could be, so that could be like not being quiet about things, or it can also be like secrets being revealed, or that there are secrets around, or just a complete disconnect from your intuition.
We're not going to let you disconnect from your intuition. I won't let that happen.
Yeah. That feels
Hey,
more
but
to me like
whatever
being in
goes
your head.
down, whatever fresh hell I cause in August, I pulled the Fool for September.
Yeah, dude, September's great for you. Because everything that needed to happen to release you from all this shit that is binding you and holding you back and keeping you small will be gone. You will have burned it to a crisp.
In the Leo sun.
So September is like, what's that song? I Can See Clearly Now, the rain is gone. That's your theme song for September.
It's going to be interesting. I get heart palpitations when I think about it.
Yeah, dude, September, October, November, December, girl, you're gonna be fucking thriving this year. And I mean like that in the best way. Like, I never knew I would love this much. And I finally understand this. This resonates with my soul. Like, it's a radical time of change for you, but it needs to happen.
Listen, so when I pull a shit ton of major arcana, I'm like, oh God. And so when I pulled month to month, for September, I got the Fool. For October, I got Judgment. For November, I've got the Six of Wands. And for December, the Hanged Man reversed.
No, it's all good.
That's amazing. Exactly.
So it's like...
Six of Wands is exactly what I was feeling for you, with that just like sheer determination, willpower, and energy and essence to just do everything that you were scared to do before. Yeah. For whatever reason.
For whatever. Who knows? Things will be enlightened for me, because some things I'm like, I get that, but what else is this? And like, we'll see.
No, that's all really good, especially that December, because you're coming out of a place, not only coming out of a place of being stuck, you pass the point of seeing things from a different perspective. So now you're to have that enlightenment.
Yeah. August and September as a collective, though, like if we look like worldview, I just feel like, again, the disassociation because of all the crazy shit that just happened and the stuff with the government and things coming to light, and us realizing where our true power lies as individuals in this whole big construct. And September kind of feels like taking the training wheels off. Like, okay, all this change happened. What the fuck do we do with it? I feel kind of crazy living in like some fucked up Looney Tune reality. And then September's like, well, this is life, so I'm going to figure it out. And there's mistakes that are made for sure by a lot of people September, but I feel like it's the fuck around to find out. And October feels kind of like the ratification that needs to happen for everybody.
So here's why that makes sense. So we have Venus entering Scorpio. Venus and Scorpio, they're not vibing.
They're not friends.
They don't vibe. And then we have Mercury entering Libra, which is here where the Venus in Scorpio drives it deep. So all of those things when Venus was in Libra that we thought were pretty aren't going to be so pretty. Then we have a new moon in Virgo. Set more physical goals for your health. Lilith enters Capricorn. We're getting a little bit judgy on our level of productivity. We're also holding ourselves accountable now, because if we don't, everything seems to fall apart. The sun enters Libra, so Libra season. Full moon in Aries, aggressive with Saturn there. And Saturn will also be retrograde. Mars enters Leo, hot fire. Okay. So this is going to lead up to October, so I'm going to do it in one go. Mars enters Leo. Mercury enters Scorpio. We have a lot of very interesting, stubborn, fixed energy. What is hidden will be revealed. Then we have Mercury conjunct that Venus. Pluto stations direct. The sun enters Scorpio. Mercury stations retrograde in Scorpio. And then Venus stations retrograde in Libra. And then retrogrades back into Scorpio. I'm just going to say this. I don't know who's watching. I don't know who's going to watch it later. If you're cheating, just end the relationship amicably and move on, because all of your lies will be found out.
That's what I was going to say. That whole fucking Venus retrograde in Libra, all the lies, all the dirt, all the bullshit is coming to the surface. And it's not even like what she said about if you're cheating. If you suspect you're being cheated on, why the fuck do you need the proof?
So it will be where okay. So let's say we're going to take it from a female standpoint. Let's say your man buys you flowers. And then Mercury stations retrograde in Scorpio. And you're like, this doesn't feel right. And then you start looking at the timing of when you start receiving those flowers. And then you're like, it's so weird, because after he has boys' night once a month, that next week, 3 days after, he seems to buy me flowers. And then you're like, is he feeling guilty about something? And then you start thinking about what he's doing on boys' night. And then you realize he's lying. And then he keeps covering up, but there's no comment, there's no evidence because his boys are helping him out, yada, yada. It don't matter. If it feels wrong, it is wrong. Notice the patterns. Things that look good will no longer look good. The truth will be revealed.
I love that you brought this up, because you know how it's like trending on TikTok and Instagram right now, where it's like catching my husband on Tinder or catching my wife on Tinder. Yeah. I'm like, dude, this shit is happening for a reason. These fucking highlight reels are being shown to everyone because something is coming in 2026 where relationships are gonna fucking end.
And I'm going to tell you right now, and especially considering all of the things that are going on, and we're now involving Mercury, and especially Mercury conjunct Venus right before Mercury stations retrograde. Check online. Put your husband or boyfriend's picture in one of those groups on TikTok or Facebook, and do you recognize this
Are you
man?
dating this person? Yeah.
Yes. Like, it's going to be very interesting on how it unfolds. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
For my single ones, we're not developing unhealthy obsessions with red flags and then dating them for the duration of this Venus retrograde. You're going to be like, oh, she's super jealous. That's hot. She wants me just for herself. No, she's going to slash her tires when this retrograde for Venus is over. Ooh, I like to read all those dark romance novels. He's super possessive. He choked me when I didn't ask him to once. We're not doing that during this Venus retrograde. You have to take it what it means when it's in Scorpio.
Yes. And like, I just feel like that is another way that like social media and stuff dictates us making stupid fucking decisions like that. Like, sure, it's funny and like people are making up these Tinder videos and shit, but like it's not funny to the people that actually fucking happens to. And it's not funny if you look at it as in like a predictive standpoint that this shit is for real gonna be a major theme for 2026, and it is going to fuck up so many people's lives.
So this is where this is where Counselor Stephanie takes over. For whatever reason, my TikTok and my Reels have gone back to the old, like 2015 Brooke and Jubal morning shows when they would do To Catch a Cheater.
Yeah. Fucking weird, right?
Had sympathy. The reactions were on most of them super like, when you come home, your shit's going to be out on the curb, blah, 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 blah. And they would laugh. The hosts, Brooke and Jubal, would laugh and joke about it. There is one that keeps coming over and over and over again in my Reels where a girl calls into Brooke and Jubal for a second date update. They call the guy. The dude's engaged. He hangs up, so they call his fiance and broadcast to her on live that her fiance, who she's marrying in a couple of weeks, is cheating on her and has cheated on her last weekend with some girl. That's on the phone. She breaks down. And for the first time ever, Jubal's still trying to make jokes about this cheating. And Brooke's like, honey, I'm so sorry. Are you all right? And this girl breaks down crying. No, I'm not all right. You have to understand what that means, because even if the relationship was toxic, even if it was temporary because you got into some dumb shit during Venus retrograde, it doesn't matter. Every hit hurts, whether it's to the ego, whether it's to the heart, whether it's to the finances, whether it's a divorce, whether it affects kids, everything hurts. You need to hold space for your people who are going to be going through this shit. And you need to allow yourself your space if it's you.
Mm-hmm. It is not time for judgment at all.
Even though I pulled judgment.
I was thinking the same thing, but that's not what that meant for you.
Not about, not judging other people. Like, even if you know someone who's in an unhealthy relationship and you have suspicions about it, and then it comes to fruition, and then they're finally ready to say something about it, or, you know, exact change because of it, you have to be able to, one, not control it and hold space for it and kind of be the ebb and flow for that, because you've known for a while that they weren't supposed to be there, but they had to make that decision themselves.
And sometimes, and especially when it comes to Scorpio, because we have ties to the dark and the obsession and hyper focus, sometimes in relationships, we just need to hit rock bottom. If you know y'all ain't right, if you listen, if you lie to yourself as much as you want, come this Venus retrograde in Scorpio, you will hit rock bottom if you are not in healthy relationships. And Venus is everyone. It is not just your romantic partner.
Mm-hmm.
It is everyone in your life. It's that the Taurus risings that have a toxic relationship with their mother that they cannot break communication with. It's the Libra suns who get all of their external validation is from some shit a man says about them. All of these cycles, all of these toxic placements that have created all of this toxic, you know, the people pleasing and the external validation and the obsessions and the hyperfixations and all of those things, you will all hit rock bottom during this Venus retrograde.
Yeah.
Sweetest day ain't gonna be shit. It's gonna be chaos. The stores will still be filled with chocolate and flowers, and people are gonna be buying shovels and pickaxe because we're hitting up our besties because we got a body in the trunk.
Yeah.
Grab a U-Haul for me. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm a Sagittarius. I burn bridges. I don't even know what my exes are doing right now.
Same. Don't give a fuck either. Stay where you're at.
Same there, but I'll just for the fact of I want to fill the U-Haul, I'll figure it out.
Oh, we can do it.
Right, that might be two bodies, right, Luna Bella? It's gonna be a tough time of year, honestly. August is gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for a lot of us, and that's gonna kind of dictate the holiday season, who we want to be around, people, like all of relationships, not even just it's like the jaded, the lies, the manipulation, realizing who your friends truly are and who the fuck they aren't. And being confident in the self. That's going to be the hardest part. When all hell breaks loose and everything comes crumbling down, can you still be confident in who you are as a human being and realize that you have a beautiful value and you do add things to relationships? And just because somebody else acted out of how you are doesn't change the fact that you are a good person.
Leo season presents an opportunity, though, when we're talking about August. If you're a fake it till you make it bitch, drop it.
Yeah.
You need to tap into what confidence really looks like for you.
Oh, that came up
and lean into it.
That totally came up in the cards. That particular confidence is key to success.
Yes.
That came up in the card.
Do the cards.
The new moon in Leo, and then the underlying deck card was the full moon.
Which we have a new moon
looking at the bigger picture. So, but the whole thing here is how you find compassion with yourself and how you deal with others, and kind of there's communication here, but it's kind of like reckless and fast moving, and you're moving in a direction that you really didn't want to go in, and there was a different option, and you're mastering that, and you're healing that within yourself, mastering your own emotions and figuring out where your fire really truly burns to create what you truly want.
Yeah, like that whole confidence thing and needing to like hold the vision, kind of like hold the fort when all this shit happens is going to be a necessity.
I feel like too what starts the whole jump is because certain things did work to a certain point, there's going to be a like false sense of confidence at first.
Yeah.
Until you work it out, and then you do eventually build it up. And that's what it felt like, at least for, I think it was August that I did here.
Mm-hmm.
The universe will humble you.
Yeah.
Take those lessons seriously.
It sucks too, because it goes from like world events and all this world shit and feeling abandoned and fucking hating everything and feeling like you don't have a voice to cheater season. And it's going to be a very, very mentally and emotionally volatile time of year. And we are going to be tired. We're going to need each other. We really will. So even though these things will be happening, it's important we don't shy away from the collective and the collaboration. And like, yes, you may need a hermit and you may need time for yourself, but it's important that
don't get stuck there.
Exactly. Don't stay there. Don't get lost there.
Hermiting isn't for running away.
No.
It's for introspection.
Yeah.
It's for developing a relationship with yourself so you can emerge better with others.
Yeah.
It's not for escapism. Leave that shit to Sagittarius and Pisces energy. We don't have any of that during this time.
Yeah.
This is not a time for escapism. Because we end cheater season with, hold on, I've already moved on to November. Look at me. Just forging ahead.
That's what I have. I put living in the now.
What month are we on? I don't even know.
I was in October.
Yeah.
So we have Venus leaves Scorpio, so moves into Libra. And then we have that full moon in Taurus. This is a reset, okay? When we're talking about a full moon in Taurus, the moon is exalted in Taurus. This is a very strong moon. This is grounded emotion, right? So this is where everything falls apart. The last few days of October is when we get a chance to rebuild. And then again, we work through the structures of how the seasons work. Aries season to Pisces season, not the first to the first. Libra season hits, the sun's in its fall. We're starting seasonal depression season for a reason. Everything is about, others and not ourselves. We're resetting ourselves so that we can make it through Scorpio season. We can make it through Sagittarius season and then Capricorn. And then again, another rough Aquarius season. And then we start with dropping our baggage again. This is the repeat of the cycle. So you have another opportunity to do some more dumping, but also to build yourself back up from everything that you've been shown. If you're starting your personal growth and your healing journey this year, this is the cycle that you're going to be in. This is when we dump everyone that makes us feel like garbage, and we're taking only the people that level us up with us.
Yep.
I'm pulling for the last 3 months as like the last cluster. Because mine all kind of like mush in together anyway.
Yeah, for the last 3 months, the highlight was just living in the new and living in the now. Because everything changes and we need time to adjust to the amount of chaos and change that 2026 brings on a personal level and on a global level. And I did write some mini stuff down for you guys for 2026 highlight reels, kind of.
Hold on, let me make sure I'm in the same year. I just powered through. Okay, so November. Hold on, let me look at December too and do a sum up.
I'm getting a lot about
Recovery,
getting out of your comfort zone, and learning to be bold and making the first moves in the directions that you want to take, especially in your relationships and the areas in your life where you want stability. There's also a lot about needing to learn when to kind of pull back and gain your own balance and restore yourself for the energy to be able to be successful in the endeavors that you're going in. There's also here about like power in numbers, learning who you can rely on, and interdependence and support for the life that you want to move forward, which goes in alignment with what you were saying as far as who you're bringing with you. And there's also, I'm still pulling cards, but I'm also seeing kind of the challenge here is being stuck in the head and a lot of self-doubt about, are you sure you're ready to move forward and make these moves? And
Mercury stations direct and Venus station direct, both of them on November 13th. This is where the season that we've gone through with the lies and the cheating and the lying to ourselves and all of those things, and then November 16th, Mars conjuncts Jupiter in Leo. So this is where, okay, we've been depressed, we've been crying, we've been cheated on, we cheated, we were tempted, we failed, whatever you're going through during the season. This is where you sit down with yourself and have an honest, open conversation with yourself. And then the rest of November and Sagittarius season in December works us up to a full-blown healing the mental processes, getting back on schedule after this big blow up. And we hit December. And I mean, who doesn't love a Sagittarius season more than Sagittarius?
Woo-woo.
And let me see. Venus enters Scorpio, Mercury enters Sagittarius. Okay, so then we're distracted. Saturn stations direct. We develop compassion. December 12th, Neptune stations direct. And then the same day, the Jupiter stations retrograde. So this is where our growth processes become internalized. We have another full moon in Cancer, similar to what we had yesterday, but only this is going to be in December. Ooh, that's going to be nice. And then Mercury enters Capricorn. Okay, so this is where we get back on track and we're having open and honest dialogue with ourselves and with our vitality, and we're getting rid of all of that ickiness that was brought up about our community, our friends, our lovers, and ourselves, and we're getting back to basics.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It's going to be a hell of a few months.
It looks like a lot of like finding the balance, especially when it comes to stability in the real world. It's like taking what you've come to discover about yourself after that, the whole hermit mode, and attaining that inner wisdom about what you want and kind of implementing it, but you're still struggling a little bit with that self-doubt and that inner conflict that's kind of moving through that. You kind of just kind of like, even if you don't feel ready, just do it. When that passionate moment hits where you feel like there could be something, you got to make that move.
Yeah, because if we're fire horsing through it, it's prioritizing action.
Mm-hmm.
It's prioritizing action. You can wallow in self-pity or you can choose to move in a good direction.
Yeah.
It's the decisions that we make, not the excuses that we make. Take action. And also trust your gut. We got reset this year immediately right off the bat with a Cancer full moon. If you weren't up in your feelings, you'll feel it in your body.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention to your body. Tap into your body. The moon is our intuition. The moon is of the body. Recognize, how do these things show up in your body? Is it headache? Is it neck pain? Do you draw upon yourself? Do you feel it directly in your gut? It's written in your birth chart. I'm a Cancer rising. I'm tapped in hard to the moon. Cancer rules the stomach. I feel it in my stomach. When something good is going to happen, I feel like excited throw up. And when something bad is going to happen, I feel like panic throw up. Mm. It literally manifests in my actual guts. It's written in your birth chart. It'll show up somewhere in your body. Pay attention to your intuition cues in your body. And then act.
I'm going to have to look up where mine is, where that feeling is.
Yours is in your head.
Of course it is. God, I love my head so much.
The problem is the noise. You have to drown out the noise till you can hear the background.
That's literally, she and I had a conversation last night and I was telling her that can't be logical.
Yep.
And she's a very logical person. And that's
honestly, as an Aquarius rising with Mars and the moon in your first house, ignore your first three thoughts. It's your fourth one that's your actual
It actually makes sense.
That's how you gotta get. So then there's the information, then there's denial, then there's the restructuring, and then finally we get to the truth of the matter.
Okay.
So write down your first four thoughts. Scratch the first three out. The fourth one is your intuition.
Okay.
All right, Sevon, do you have anything to add for the end of the year?
Nope, that was it. That was the end of the year. It feels like, to wrap it all up, the beginning of the year, learning how rediscovering or creating who you are, who are you becoming as yourself, as your person, and then moving in towards the end, it's your relationships with others and how you're interacting with the world around you. and what feels stable to you, and learning to trust yourself and heal those emotions. That's kind of like the whole process.
Okay, so I didn't do a month-to-month breakdown. I did like a highlight reel for you guys for 2026. Sevon, I'm gonna start with you.
Okay.
So there's a highlight on family for you, and a lot of that comes in because of the physical health aspect of everything that's going on with you. Physical health, I get diagnosis, treatment, new way of living, and a highlight on February, March, April, and May, because those kind of feel like trauma months when it comes to stuff with your physical health, but they're followed up by reconnection, and there's a highlight on mother, not necessarily like your mother, but on you being a mother, and there's a connection to all of your children that comes up, and I was having a really hard time not crying connecting to that. Especially in, it wasn't March, April, May. There's a highlight to that because of something that goes on with your health that is scary. And there's a rekindle and reconnection there. And that kind of like paves the way for your whole year, because there's a massive change for you and connecting with your kids. There's also a highlight on family beyond that, and there's more of like a community connection to family and a closeness with family, like a lot more conversation that is had with family. And that also feels like, you know, second and third cousin type of, I have not talked to these people in forever.
Yeah.
But the sense of community, there's also a connection to like, you kind of being a powerhouse that brings a lot of health related information into the family, because you're getting so much diagnosis and so much treatment for the things that are ailing you physically this year. And it unlocks a lot of truth for things that could be diagnosed throughout your family that are genetic.
Oh, okay.
So that is going to be another reason that family comes together for you for 2026. There's also a highlight on personal gain, and the connection to that would be finances for you for this year. You have a lot of financial income happening this year, but I don't feel like it's something you have to strive for. It's more so like, it kind of feels like dumb luck, honestly. Like,
that's my life.
Am I right? It fucking somehow manifests. Like, I don't feel like you have to chase anything. You're already a magnet to these things. So when it comes to finances for 2026, I don't feel like you need to stress anything. Things are going to work out for you because they're supposed to. You're supposed to be able to focus on your health and physically getting better so you can physically do the things that you're wanting to do, and you have freedom in your physical world. Now, that being said, the way that you live life is going to change. So major lifestyle changes when it comes to like diet, exercise, physical energy, mental stimulation and energy. Honestly, it reminds me of what I went through in 2021 with my hospitalization and feeling like I was benched and I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do. There is going to be that kind of like hangman change perspective sort of highlight for you this year too. And while it will feel traumatic and it will feel like, why are these cards that I was dealt? What the fuck is this? It will not stay that way. And it's important that you remember that as you transition all throughout the year. Nothing that's happening to you this year is going to dictate how your life is going to be next year. It is meant to kind of like preserve the life that you want for the future.
Okay.
You're going to be learning a ton this year, and everything that you're learning is you're going to wind up saving 2 other lives in your family because of what you're going to go through. It's all for a bigger purpose, and what you're doing serves a purpose beyond what makes sense right now. So it's important that you know that too going into 2026.
Okay.
The kids things feels like it's one of the most important things that'll happen for you, and there could be a connection to you and your daughter with the health things that are going on, and you being able to change her future because you have learned all of these things, and she can now be treated for like genetic things that you have, so it won't affect her life the way it's affected yours.
Okay.
There's a genetic connection for that, and a big part of the rekindling that I see for that for you for 2026. Okay?
Okay.
All right, Stephanie. You for 2026, the highlight is on you. The highlight is the self, the personal self, beyond how you connect and communicate with anyone else, what is meant for you and what you're going to do this year. I see a huge connection to you kind of like being the goddess of your community. And I mean that wholeheartedly. You're launching stuff with herbs. Everything is homegrown. There's not necessarily like an organic tie to it because of the fucking hoops you have to jump through to get that label on your stuff. But the fact that if somebody you guys are going to do like a community farm type thing, there's a highlight on that. But then I also keep seeing, you know what a she shed is, where you have like your own little space. You're going to create that at home, but it's going to be like, hypothetically, you live on 50 acres, right? 49 of your acres are like, nobody is allowed on that property. That is your personal home. That 1 acre though is like meant for like homesteading, energy work, astrology and readings. It is your personal space, and it's like a she shed on your property, and people can come to like I don't feel like you have to worry about residential versus commercial property either. And I don't feel like you're going to have any issue with being able to sell foods and things either, because you're not doing it in a storefront yet. You will, not yet. This year, though, a lot of the highlight and income for you specifically in your household will come from those things too. And it's that shared knowledge. It's the compassion you have for it. And then you're going to combine all this knowledge, this like esoteric wisdom with real life shit. And you're literally going to be the goddess of your community. You'll be known for these things.
It's funny because we started building a farm stand on our property.
Oh my God.
And I literally just joked with my husband the other day. I was like, I'm just going to buy a $4,000 shipping container and get it thrown in the backyard and make it my meditation hut. And then I'm just going to sell my stuff and do readings right out of the backyard.
Yes, you will. I see that for this year. I shit you not.
Because my she shed is currently not allowed to be my she shed. It's where my chickens are for the winter.
Yeah, this is new though. This feels like a new space that you are creating for yourself, for all the things that make Stephanie Stephanie. And you're getting into energy work, you're doing energy healing, you're doing mind, body, spirit stuff, you're connecting it with astrology and someone's birth chart. So if you pull up their birth chart and you see all of this like what is it, like counsel things you can counsel them on, therapy sessions, I see that certification too. You're literally combining all of these things in like a shamanic way. That's a good term for it. Like, this is your year to truly step into your shamanic being. And that's going to be like the forecast for the whole year for you. Business is the highlight of that. Your personal business, how you want to maneuver through business. Business is going to change for you throughout the whole year. Month to month, it'll change. You'll add things, you'll take things away, you'll highlight real things. You'll decide what is for you, what you do, what you don't want. This is a lot of fucking around and finding out for you this year, but it's going to grow your business in a way that you didn't expect, and in a way that is like, hey babe, so yeah, you know how we wanted to do that? We wanted to go on a trip, and we're going to be able to do that this year. And you as your own person, you are on a highlight reel for 2026. I don't care if astrology doesn't tell you that. I'm seeing it. You're looking at this like, yeah, those are kind of like the rules I have to follow, but yeah, fuck that. I'm going to do what I want. And there's this passion in you that gets unlocked mid-year that is like nothing will stand in your way. Fuck a Mercury retrograde, fuck a personal transit, fuck all of that. It's not going to stop you.
So that's Jupiter transiting into Leo and me working with Saturn and Aries instead of against Saturn and Aries.
Yeah, very...
the personal, the reputation, right? Your 10th house is your career house and your reputation, and that's where Aries is, and that's where Saturn's going to be. So it's going to be a slow, workable process, but the more work I put into it, the more rewards I reap.
Yeah, and you will have your niches of people. So let's say Mondays are your energy days. Those are the days you set up your she shed for all your energy work, what you're going to do, how you want to do it, what it feels like to you. And I don't see you doing energy work as in like someone lays on a table and you do Reiki over them. You're going to do these workshops where you teach people how to understand the energy in themselves and how to program that into a tool they can use every day, like making candles and having these herbs and stuff that are meant to help where they're stuck with astrology. You pull it all in together and it's just like, oh my God, this is going to be fucking incredible. And you're going to have so much fun doing it. And you're going to take these things that are like, I hate the word frou-frou, but kind of, and give it purpose. And it has so much like potential for you. And the people that you meet along the way are not going to let you give up on these things. And you're going to need that because you'll do something and you'll be so fucking good at it. And you'll be like, oh, that was cool. On to the next thing. And then you're going to have people who did it with you that are like, bitch, no, you cannot. You have to do this. I need you to come down to the rec center and I need you to fucking teach a class on this shit. You changed my life. And then they set this in motion. And then all of a sudden you're at the rec center in the middle of town teaching a class on some shit that was just fun for you on a random Tuesday. And you're like, holy shit, this is my life now. That's the type of stuff that is going to unfold for you. And you will be called to action doing those things. But you'll do them when you have the passion behind it. The important thing, though, is to act on the passion every single time so you don't block the ability for these to unfold for you. Because you're going to have a lot of the mind tricking you into believing you're not ready. You don't have all the information. It's going to get fucked up. People aren't going to come. No one's going to believe in you. It's you v you this whole year. But damn it, man, if you just get that passion feeling and you do it, I just feel the emotion like so much that like, you know, when you put something sour in your mouth and your mouth just starts salivating like crazy, I feel that kind of emotion, like electricity connecting to you needing to do these things this year.
So my goal is I do that. Like, oh, I just started. Oh, I don't have that big of a community. Nobody's going to show up. Nobody's going to come. Nobody's going to take the class. And it has happened to me a lot in the past. However, when we're talking about the Chinese zodiac, we're talking about the fire horse year, I got double, quadruple dicked down by dragon year because I'm a dog. Mm-hmm. However, horses are going to be challenged. Rats are going to take the L. But there's 3 Chinese zodiac signs that this is their year. Tigers, goats, and dogs. Sevon and I are dogs.
Yep. I'm a water dog.
So I'm thinking those thoughts, feeling those feelings, but I'm not letting it choose my actions.
Yeah.
So my goal is every time I want to give up, I'm just going to start something new. Because I know I can't stop that internal dialogue. I have Mars in Aquarius. This rat race is 24/7 with images and subtitles and background reels. I can't stop that. That's natural. Every time I want to quit, every time I want to just stop, every time I start thinking bad about myself, my goal is to just create something new.
For some reason, 3s are important to you.
3s are very important to me.
So you need to focus on third time's a charm. I launched a class. I had somebody they wanted to come. They didn't show up. I kind of felt like a jackass. Why the fuck am I doing this? Do it again. Next time I do it, 5 people show up. Oh my fucking God, what is this? Am I supposed to do that? Holy fuck. The next time, 30 people show up because those 5 people had the time of their fucking life and told all of their friends and were like, holy shit, you gotta go to Stephanie's fucking class. You have to. You have to experience this. And then that is how you get launched into community 3 times. Just tell yourself that every time. And it may be the first time is so successful and the second time's a flop and you're just like, okay, I'm not supposed to do this. Don't forget the 3rd time. You will know 100% by the 3rd time if you're supposed to keep doing it or not.
3s are very important to me. It's like the number I spiritually bonded to. That's why if you notice in all of my email addresses and everything, there's 3, 2 3s, 3 3 3. Everything is 3. And I've chosen 3 things to do this year. Work on my personal stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's not just doing the work for others. It's doing the work for myself. Mm-hmm. I want to take these classes for the next year. And the 3rd thing is
No, what happened? Hang on. Okay, there we go.
I want to finish all of the things that I've started so that I can have the effects of the first 2. So in a way, it's an expansion and a balancing of me doing my work, me learning for others, and then I need to finish these things because there has been a suggestion, and I don't know if you tap into it when I say it or not. I have been semi-invited into hasn't come to fruition yet, but there's an idea about a collective coming for this year. And if it comes to fruition, I want to go head first into it.
Yeah, you're supposed to. This is your year of intuition. I wrote it down. You're supposed to teach what you don't know because you're never going to know all of everything, and you're going to learn as you go, and you're going to feel stupid as you do it, but you're supposed to, because you're breaking up with that mental side of things. And until you challenge yourself and realize how much you did know about what you thought you didn't know, you'll never see the success. And you are someone who needs to see the success.
Yes, I'm very much, I have to watch it come full circle. That's my thing, is I feel like I'm always in a state of suspension waiting for the full circle. But I am very much a study, never start.
Yep.
And the one phrase, as I said it earlier too, and it's the astrology of the year in a way that has been stuck in my head, is some bullshit that I always do. You're never going to feel ready. Ready isn't a feeling, it's a decision.
Yeah.
And that just keeps playing over and over and over and over again in my brain.
Yeah.
Which is why have a ton of doubts, plan something new.
Yep.
That's just what to offset that.
Mm-hmm.
Is my plan.
Yeah. If you can keep that thought process of like teaching what I don't know so I can learn it too, and give yourself grace, which is truly what you need, you're going to be fucking unstoppable. It's okay to not know things. It's okay to learn things as you're teaching them to other people. That's real. That's raw. That's honest. And honestly, if you look at it, those are the people that we gravitate towards anyway. People who are willing to fuck up and just learn shit in the process and learn shit in the moment too.
Yeah, because it's a humbling moment for me, and also to people that act like they know everything are red flags for me.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I was going to say. When you go to someone and they're like the guru, know-it-all of it, you automatically don't fucking like them anyway.
Which segues us perfectly into our topics for next week.
Yeah.
Which is the do's and don'ts of readings. So we're going to talk about our personal like pet peeves and the do's and don'ts of choosing readers and choosing energy workers. And hell, we'll throw in choosing people for ourselves.
Yeah.
It's the do's and don'ts next week.
And we'll be doing live readings next week too.
Yes. So don't forget to join. Oh, and then also too, Jordan mentioned it earlier. We're 10 subscribers away from our raffle.
Yes.
Get in there, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Once we have 50 subscribers on YouTube, we're going to put everybody's name into a hat, a bucket, a crystal bowl, whatever, and draw. The raffle winner gets a reading with all three of us.
Yep. It's one powerhouse of a reading, you guys. You don't want to miss it.
And we're all long-winded, so it's going to be a shit ton of information.
Yep. It really is.
Danny, I'm sorry you're a rat. I didn't want to tell you when you called me the other day, because when I was looking at it and I realized you were a rat, that's why I asked you what year you were born in. And then I'm sorry, Danny.
How do we find that out?
So you want to look up like compatibility. Like
I think she means what she is.
Yeah. How do I look up what animal I am?
You look up
go by the year.
Zodiac.
Yeah, just go by the Chinese zodiac and look up the year. So what year were you born in?
91.
I'm pretty sure you're a goat or a sheep.
Hell yeah, I'm a metal goat.
Yep. So
you say goats is good, right?
Yeah.
Fuck
goats, tigers, dogs.
They don't burn in fire. Isn't that what I heard somewhere? That's why goats can jump into fire. They don't actually light fire. That's why they're associated with supposed like evil and hell.
I have no
idea, but that's really fucking cool to know if that's true.
Yeah. People that they can't burn in fire. It's weird. They'll jump into fire I know some people have like certain type of goats that are pets.
That's weird.
Let me see. I can look it up.
best matches with a rabbit and pig. That's crazy. Tender, polite, filial. What the fuck does that mean? Clever and kind-hearted.
So when you're filial, that means that it's not always a good thing. So it means that you're dedicated to honoring your family.
Oh yeah, it says the relationship between child and parents, dedication to family. It's literally what it says.
Yeah. So you would never do anything in your personal life that would make your family line, meaning your parents and your children, look bad, because they believe that if you're not filial, if you're unfilial and you bring dishonor to the family line, that's unlucky and it carries on through the generations. But sometimes that staunch loyalty can be very toxic.
Oh, fuck yeah. Super toxic.
Which is why I'm on the fence about that filial thing. I'm filial to my children and setting them up for success.
Fact.
If you don't have
I don't really give a fuck
parents that did the same for you,
no.
Fuck them.
Yeah, fact. And I also, like, yes, my whole entire personality as a child and young adult was 100% just make them proud. Stay out of trouble, be perfect, get perfect grades, have the best GPA, apply to the best college, be the best, be the good girl, be the goodest of good girls you can be. And it wasn't until I was probably like 30 that I actually broke up with that and was like, fuck all of that. I'm going to be whoever the fuck I want to be. I'm done. I don't want to be that version of myself anymore. So I can see how that played into the whole parent thing too, and like not wanting to ruffle feathers and like minimizing myself to not create problems in the family. Now I just don't give a fuck.
So being a water dog, we're super loyal. Mm-hmm. So in our early years, we were probably loyal to people that weren't loyal to us at a default.
Yeah.
Fuckers. No resentment held here at all.
That's all I have, though. That's what I got for the podcast. And I'm so fucking excited about next week.
Yes. It's going to be spicy, for sure.
It is. Yep. Y'all are going to get to see some behind the scenes do's and don'ts for booking a reading for yourselves, and like even like the reader's standpoint of like doing a reading and what it's like for us, and like even shit that like gives us the ick when it goes to like doing readings for other people. Like, I'll tell y'all, one of the major fucking things I can't stand is when somebody brings something to me that another reader said as if that is like, I don't know, a personal truth or something, and they want me to validate or invalidate it. Go back to the person who told you that and figure out with them why you feel the way that you do. I'm not here to do that.
Nothing is wrong with a second or third or fourth opinion, but don't bring it up in the reading that you're in.
Mm-hmm. And if you come to me and you go, I don't know about this relationship, 3 people have told me it's a bad thing, what do you get? And expect me to tell you it's going to be a good thing, because you're just searching at that point for what you want to fucking hear, and you're not listening to the truth. And I will not lie to you and tell you, oh, he's great. I'm going to tell you the same shit you've already heard probably.
That's one of my pet peeves is reader shoppers that just shop until somebody tells them what they want to hear. What is the point of somebody getting so deep in your energy, offering you on a golden platter some self-awareness for you to just fuck off to the next reader until you hear what you want to hear?
Yeah. And it's traumatic for us as readers too, because you come to us for something and then you come back and you go, oh, well, they told me this, and so I changed my life to do that, and now it's really fucked up, and now I need your help again. And then we're like, are you so fucking for real right now? Like, wasn't just me. It was like me and 4 other people that told you, don't fucking do that. And you did it anyway, and now you want me to fix it?
See, I don't know what's worse, that or when you get the people who, you were right, but I'm going to keep making the same choices and I'm going to keep coming back for readings.
Yep.
That's hard because
we're gonna cover so much, y'all. I hope you're ready. You might hate us at the end of it. I don't really care though, because like for someone
who drive is crazy.
Yeah, for someone who's been publicly doing this shit for 8 fucking years now, there are things that I feel like I need to get off my chest at this point.
So you're going to get a lot of valuable information and yelled at.
Yes, but also for people who are like wanting to do this as a profession and like wanting to step into like your power and fucking do readings, learn from our fucking mistakes, man.
Yeah.
You guys can fast track so much by learning. I'm a hard learner. I learned shit the fucking hard way. So I people pleased for too long and I undervalued myself for too long. I did so many things the wrong way, trying to get to a point where I felt like I had purpose and I felt like I was doing something good and I felt like it all had meaning in some roundabout way. Like there's so much that you can learn from us too, just by listening to us rant about the shit we've been through as readers.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, how to pick a reader. I don't know how many times people have been searching and searched for the wrong things and then wrapped up their advice in the wrong people.
Yeah.
Like there are some people out there that this is an ego boost for them, that helping you and you validating their feelings, they're bringing their baggage to the reading.
Yeah.
When you pay someone to get up in your energy and to spend time with you, it is about you, not them. And there are some readers that bring their baggage to every reading that they do.
Yeah, they project, and that's all they know how to do because it's the energy they're sitting in. So you really have to be careful with who the fuck you're getting information from.
And those ones that, and there's nothing wrong with love and light, but you can't have a reading that doesn't look at the shadow aspects and the dark sides of yourself, because it's not going to help you.
Yep.
You're coming to get a reading to get help, to know what direction to go in, or help yourself be more self-aware on the wounds you have or whatever's going on in your life.
When it comes to talking about the darkness and dark things, I don't want anybody to fear the dark, because if you look at it, even in the Bible, it said, and then there was light, which meant there was darkness first. Darkness and darkness is creation. Everything that is today started in the dark. So if you want to get back to basics, if you want to really know yourself, you have to do it in the dark.
Yeah, I did a reading not long ago, and the person in the reading was asking me, how do I channel more love and light in your life? And I said, stop looking at it that way. Feel as gross as you can possibly feel. When you're pissed off at somebody, be as pissed off as you can be. Rage room that shit, break shit, fucking ruin things. Like, you cannot frou-frou, happy-go-lucky, joy, love, and light through your fucking life. It will not work. People are like, oh, you're so incredible. You're the best reader. You're this, you're that. Yeah, because I've been through some shit, and I felt my way through it. And I figured it the fuck out. And I stopped letting it dictate who I was going to be and how I was going to be and how I was going to show up. I hated myself. I destroyed my own fucking life for years. Like, I literally was the embodiment of being the shadow aspect of who you fucking are. And if you can't come to terms with that, and you can't challenge those things, and you can't have those conversations, and you can't look at all this shitty thing that you are and that you're projecting, you cannot be of service to other people, because you will project. You'll project all that frou-frou, happy-go-lucky, love and light. And
when you ignore the shadow, your shadows rule you, which means you are expressly acting under fear response.
Yep.
Fight, flight, freeze, fawn. Everything you do, your entire life is reactionary. So it's not a series of choices. It's a series of reactions. If you thought all of that fake control was control, you are not in control at all. You're just reacting.
Mm-hmm.
You can only see the stars when it's dark outside. They're always there, but you can't see them unless you are willing to sit in the dark and look.
Yes, and from a perspective of a reader, when you're doing readings, the shit that you don't want to deal with will be highlighted to you. Mm-hmm. When you're doing readings for people, if you have sexual abuse, sexual trauma, all fucking the people that are going to come to you to get readings, that's all the readings are going to be about. And you're going to be looking at yourself like, what the fuck? Like, am I crazy? You're going to feel like you're in the twilight zone because you are not healing something. And so you're being brought the people that can help you heal that through the act of service that you're giving by helping them heal the shit that they're stuck in.
The way that I read, I am instantly drawn to shadows and trauma the second I bring up a birth chart. Mm-hmm. That's just who I am. So that's the type of reader I am. The light and love people aren't drawn to me. I don't give readings to people that aren't willing to look in the dark, because I'm built different and people pick that up. I project my energy out there, not my baggage.
Yeah.
Like, that's why it's so, people look at it like, oh, that's so crazy. You can go from person to person and you can read this and them and this and that. I'm like, I've been through all this shit. My life has been this shit. I've learned, it's almost like a pattern recognition sometimes for me, because I've either had someone like that in my life, or I've had a personal experience, or I've witnessed it secondhand through somebody that I'm super close to going through something similar. Like, it's, what I'm able to do is so much of a mirror of the things that I have been through, the things that I've overcome, the things I'm still processing, the things I'm still healing from. And you have to be willing to see every version of yourself through the people that you're helping to. You resonate with it for some fucking reason. And it can be so triggering and so traumatic too, when you get cluster readings that are highlight reels, basically, of something that you don't think you're ready to deal with, but clearly you are, because it's being brought to you.
And honestly, sometimes in clients' charts, I'll see that they're not ready to heal that, to hear that. And I'll pull back a little bit and I'll make a suggestion. Don't be surprised if in 2 months, 7 months, you start feeling this way.
Yeah.
This is going to be the theme. You're not ready for it now. But if then, deal with it. Seek out a therapist, come back, get another reading, whatever you need to do. You're not ready to hear it yet, but it will be highlighted this date.
Yeah, that's something else I want to talk about too. How often to get readings. We're going to, y'all.
We're about to just drop it all
right now.
We're dropping the beats.
The fucking bombs are going to get dropped during this episode next week. Definite do's, definite do nots.
100%.
Like, I'm sharing it everywhere. Of all the ones we've done so far, I'm the most excited about this upcoming episode.
I'm excited about all of them.
I mean, yeah, me too, but like, I just have a lot to say.
I think we all have a lot to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jordan's going to get the floor next week.
Yeah, we're just going to have to sit back.
We're just going to
have to sit back, have a smoke and a pan. Just Sevon and I over here like popcorn, like go, go, go.
Now your little pom-poms, y'all are fucking cheering me on.
Confetti, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we should do it on TikTok with the sounds that we can do in the studio. Remember that one sound I did? It was like, ah!
I think
oh my God.
I actually have those in here. I just have to figure out how to use
you?
them. Yeah, I do have sounds.
Well, stand by for a very sound activated, emotionally fueled episode next week.
Right before you drop that mic.
Right. I've just never played around with these, but we totally have sound effects that we'll be using next week too. Now that I know
we should go goth next week too, so we could be all like, no love and light here.
Anti-love and light. Just have a banner above us.
Yeah. Just like, we're moving to shadows.
Shadows and darkness.
Yes.
Oh my God.
We're goth. We'll open with the Black Parade.
Right.
Break out my black lipstick.
We're all like in the dark with the flashlight under our faces.
For real though, if I show up next week with a smoky eye, nobody judge me. I'm ready to like lay into some. I got stuff to get off my chest too.
Mm-hmm.
Demon season.
Right. I'm blaming Aries. I know it's not Aries yet, but I'm blaming them.
Chiron's in Aries. That's a wound to the self.
There we go. All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and end it out here. This was amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I can't wait to see the year play out and see these predictions and do like a monthly check-in. Like, hey, what do we say was going to happen in February? Because holy shit, it's happening. Yes, Baby Love, thank you so much. And again, like Stephanie said, we are only 10 subscribers away from giving away that free reading with the 3 of us. So go tell all your people.
Or you can create different Gmail accounts and go like them. They'll give you an extra into the raffle thingy.
Yeah, you can do that too. If you have more than one YouTube account and you can subscribe on more than one account, go do that because we're only 10 people away from giving that reading away. All right. And then again, next week, do's and don'ts of booking and getting readings.
And honestly, like, we talk a lot, but if you have comments or questions, we see your comments. Appreciate. But if you have questions, ask them too.
Yeah.
If you've been done dirty by a reader, let it out.
Yep.
If you want to start, but you're like, how do I navigate these feelings? Put it in the comments.
Yeah. You want to get into this and you want to do this as a profession, and you start hearing shit we're talking about and you're like, whoa, maybe I don't want to do it. It's a whole part of why we're doing that. Like, it's so hard. It's hard for us as readers too. Like, even going from a reading where, for me, someone has lost a child, and then the next reading, somebody wants to know about their career and finances. You know how hard that is to go from like being an empath and processing that much grief and feeling like I have lost my own child, to then having to jump into a reading where somebody wants a very bubbly, happy, yeah, tell me what's going to happen with my career. Am I going to get this raise or get this promotion, get this job? And like having to separate those before I jump into that next one, and the expectation on us as readers. Like, I want to talk about all of that. We're going to leave no stone unturned in this life.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. I feel it's going to be really healing for us too. So like all the shit we don't talk about and all the shit people don't see who maybe have had readings but haven't experienced it from a reader's perspective.
Not only that, but how to ask questions and how to implement it, what to do with a reading when you get it. And the whole aspect of, yes, readings are good to help and guide, but having too many can be detrimental to you. And we'll explain why.
Yeah,
not just to us for being annoying. It's really not good for you in the path that you're on.
Yeah, you don't need somebody else telling you how to live your life or giving your power away to somebody, no matter how trustworthy they are.
And knowing constantly what's going on is taking power from yourself, because then you're not making the choices you would have made when we read you.
Yeah.
And understanding free will when getting readings.
Yep.
Yeah.
As an astrologer, I wouldn't warn you of a tense time and lead you to suspect that this is your fate. Like, this is what's going to work out for you. I'm telling you about that period to set you up, to make it work for you, not against you. That's free will.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. I hope y'all are ready, man. All I'm going to say about next week. I hope y'all are ready. It's a tell-all for readings. We're going to go ahead and end it out here. We appreciate you guys so much, and we will see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.